Serving fans throughout the Midwest and even more around the world, this is the Show Me Sports Network. The following is an exclusive broadcast property presentation of the Show Me Sports Network and is a high-fidelity, all-digital broadcast. This broadcast is copyright by the Show Me Sports Network for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast without the Show Me Sports Network's written consent is prohibited.
To get things going here on the Show Me Sports Network, I am Ben Schmidt and excited for this one. It's a battle between two of the teams we cover most here on Show Me Sports. Blake, usually the man in charge of Southern Boone, and myself, Justin, Cam, all of us did all the the football, softball, and basketball games for Hallsville up to this point, and now we got our first baseball game of the season. Final warm-up pitch thrown by the man in purple, and that is starting pitcher today for Hallsville, Andrew Orscheln, as he gets to start, the lefty and senior pitcher / outfielder. Today he is on the bump and just about ready to get things going. Quick meeting at the mound for the Indians before they get ready to fire in their first pitch against the Eagles. Once again, thanks for spending it with me here on the Show Me Sports Network. Very few clouds in sight as we are about to get things going for Southern Boone. The man who will step in to lead it off is Chase Morris. Saw him on the football field a couple of months ago when these two teams faced off. Can hear a lot of familiar names from those couple months ago when these two teams faced off at the football field just off in the distance from here. First pitch fired in, and that is outside for a ball, and we are underway. Once again, the pitcher for Hallsville, Andrew Orscheln, the left-hander and senior. Morris back into the batter's box as the lefty will go into his windup. 1-0 pitch on the way, and it is swung through and missed, blew it by him, and evens it out 1-1. That didn't have any movement on it, just had gas, and as that one made its way into the strike zone, Morris was late on, and that evens up the count. So long look into the catcher behind the plate now. Orscheln winds, fires, and deals. This one bends in there. That's a called strike. Nice pitch as Morris started to bring the bat around, but held up. Doesn't matter as it's a called strike anyway. And a nice bounce back as it is 1-2 now after back-to-back strikes. Look into the catcher. And here comes the lefty's two-strike delivery. It is fouled straight back directly in front of me, and we will do it again. So first contact that had been made by Morris, and it is a foul ball to keep his at-bat alive. It'll be Morris, then Austin Evans with Riker Zimmerman to follow for the Southern Boone Eagles. And we will do the 1-2 pitch again after Morris just fouled off the one a moment ago. Long look into the catcher. Now here comes the two-strike delivery. It's going to bend out of the zone, try to get him to chase with the off-speed, but it could not find that upper corner of the plate, so evens the count up at 2-2. See if he can finally get that much-needed two-strike pitch to put him away. Here's the delivery. It is swung on and missed, and that's a strikeout to open the day for Hallsville pitcher Andrew Orscheln, as it took a couple of tries to get him with the two-strike pitch, but he goes off speed and gets Morris to swing through it, and that is out number 1 for Andrew Orscheln. So now Austin Evans will step in for Southern Boone, wearing the black jerseys with the red lettering and white pants. Hallsville in purple with white pants themselves. This one's going to bend low and inside below the knees. That's a ball, 1-0. So first two batters, Orscheln has fallen behind with the first ball. Did a nice job bouncing back to get ahead in the count against Chase Morris. See if he can do the same here to Evans. Evans lefty, so it's a left-on-left matchup. Here's the pitch, and it's going to fall out of the glove of the catcher and go to the backstop. Wasn't a strike anyway. It is 2 balls and no strikes now, just underway here in Hallsville as the Indians and Eagles face off on this Tuesday evening in the second week of April. Now back into the box as the left-handed pitching Orscheln looks in for the sign. Looks like they're going to set up pretty much at the knees. Here's the delivery, and it is at high and fouled off out of play. Makes things 2 balls and a strike, sailed over the Southern Boone dugout. So first strike of the at-bat delivered to Evans, the junior outfielder. First left-on-left matchup of the game. Long look in. The line, the kick, and the delivery is going to bend inside, make it 3 balls and a strike. So Orscheln in danger of putting his first base runner on of the game. Going to have to battle back to the number 2 hitter in the order, Riker Zimmerman, waits on deck for Southern Boone. Now here comes the 3-ball, 1-strike pitch with no one on and 1 out. Swung on and misses. He blew the heat by him to make the count full. It's a nice bounce back right there to essentially to say, here it is, try and hit it. And the batter, Austin Evans, was late on the pitch. That's going to make it 3 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out. Just the second batter of this ball game between Hallsville and Southern Boone. And pitcher will take a moment to collect himself before getting back on the bump. Now we're going to do the 3-ball, 2-strike pitch. Infield looks to be playing back at the corners. Here's the delivery, and it is just outside, bends low and away. Looked like he tried to get off speed on that outside corner. Couldn't find it, and that's going to be a 1-out walk as Austin Evans gets to trot on down to first base. Pretty good turnout of fans here on both sides of the third base and first base line. Southern Boone not too far of a way to travel as they've certainly filled most of those bleachers on the third base side. So now stepping in is Riker Zimmerman. Batch from the right-handed side. Look over at the runner at first by Urshela. Now he's going to come back to the plate with the first pitch, and it's going to be a called strike. Looked like heat on the outside corner, and Urshela gets the call. Another look towards the runner. That's Evans, who just walks, who leads off of first base with 1 out, and they're going to throw over to first. Back in easily is Evans. Just underway here in Hallsville. This the third batter of the game for the visiting Southern Boone Eagles. No balls and a strike on Zimmerman. Glance over to first. Now here's the delivery. It's an off-speed pitch and bends up out of the zone. And that's a ball. Evens things up at 1-1. Back on the bump now is the lefty Urshela. Check of the runner. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Swung on and missed as he blew it by him. Nice delivery right there as he got Zimmerman to swing through it late. And so far through these first couple batters, although he's retired 1 and walked 1, when Urshela is needed to bring the heat with the fastball, he's been able to blow it by a couple of batters. Has a strikeout so far. Pretty decent lead by Evans off of first base. Lefty looking right at him. He's running. They throw over, but he might have gotten too big of a jump, and he's going to slide into second safely. Urshela lifted his leg and threw over to first, but by the time that ball left his hands, Evans was already over halfway to second base, and there was just no chance for the first baseman to throw to second to get him. So Evans steals second base, and now a runner in scoring position with 1 out for Southern Boone. And now the umpire is going to call time for just a moment. Now ready to go. It is a 2-strike count, so big at bat right here if he can get Zimmerman without allowing that runner to advance any closer and get out number 2. Look back towards the runner now, back towards the plate. 1-2 pitch, swung on, fouled. Did the catcher hang on? He did, and that is out number 2 and a big strikeout for the pitcher, Urshela, as he has responded. Walk with 2 strikeouts on opposite ends of it, and now there's 2 outs in the inning and a chance to get out of this thing scoreless. Quick meeting at the mound between the catcher and pitcher before the cleanup hitter, Jace Reynolds, comes up. Junior infielder, bats from the right side, and he's going to try and get a 2-out RBI. Ready to go in the box now is Reynolds. Look back towards runner. Here's the first pitch and up and outside. Pretty good command so far of the fastball for Urshela. Hasn't had the best command of the off-speed stuff. Both of his strikeouts appear to have come on heaters. Top of the first inning. Runner on second with 2 outs in a 0-0 ball game. Check towards home. Here's the pitch. Off-speed, and that one catches the outside corner. Nice delivery as Reynolds was left frozen, and that evens the count at 1-1. Motion a little bit concerned with that runner out for second. That is Evans, who stole second. Now here's the 1-1, fouled straight back directly in front of me. And now just one more strike needed for Hallsville to get out of this inning without allowing a run. Just over 10 minutes into this thing on a very sunny April early evening. Ben Schmidt here on the Show Me Sports Network. First baseball game we brought you from Hallsville this season. Check of the runner. Almost took that foot up, now puts it back down. Looks like they're going to set up low. Here's the pitch, runner goes, it's outside, and Evans is going to easily steal third base without a throw. Catcher for Hallsville, that's Aaron Urshela, popped up like he may snap a throw down to third. as a third baseman covering Tanner Daly was on the bag but did not feel comfortable letting the throw. No real reason to there in a 2-strike count, a chance of throwing it to left field and allowing Southern Boone to score the first run. But now got to bounce back right here and get strike 3 and get out of the inning. Here's a 2-ball, 2-strike pitch, and it's going to bend low. 3-2 now, count's run full. I guess I shouldn't say no reason to throw down to third, because on the off chance it is I guess not off chance, but on the chance it's a perfect throw and you get out of the inning, then you don't even have to worry about this pitch to the cleanup hitter. But seems like there could be more harm than good coming out of that. 3-2 pitch on the way, swung on and missed, and that is going to end the inning. Orscheln threw down to third, but with strike 3, inning is over. So a base runner reaches on a walk, but outside of that, Orscheln strikes out the other 3 batters and will go to the bottom of the first scoreless. Be back in just a moment on the Show Me Sports Network.
In today's world, injury prevention is at the top of everyone's list. However, heat-related occurrences get routinely overlooked. Zealous WBGT puts that front and center. By using cutting-edge formulas and technology, Zealous WBGT streamlines and simplifies obtaining and documenting wet bulb globe temperature readings. With a simple touch of a button, you can check WBGT anywhere in the world, receiving alerts when the WBGT goes over the threshold you select. Join the stress-free way to protect student-athletes, employees, and overall operations from extreme heat by downloading the free Zealous WBGT app today. Save time, save money, save lives with Zealous WBGT.
Hello, Blake Gazaway here with the Show Me Sports Network. I've had the opportunity to have some amazing calls, including overtime touchdowns, walk-off home runs, and buzzer-beating baskets. But I've answered another call. That's to serve my community as a volunteer firefighter. Stop and think what would happen if your home or property caught fire and no one was there to put it out. Every day, volunteer firefighters not only save lives and property, but also respond to other emergencies. Nearly 2/3 of our nation's fire departments are manned by volunteer firefighters. And because of this, we simply need more volunteers to step up and answer the call. Stop by or contact your local fire department and see how you can become a volunteer firefighter today. I answered the call to serve my community. Will you?
So here comes Hallsville to the plate for the first time today, looking to build some momentum after Andrew Orscheln struck out 3 batters and did not allow any runs in the top of the first inning. It is Carter Salter who will be on the bump, the right-hander for Southern Boone, looking to do some damage. He'll face Colton Nichols first up, ground ball to third, and that is foul, makes it 0-1. We've had the 2 respective quarterbacks lead off for both sides. Recognize both of those names from calling football back in the fall. It'll be Nichols, Matheny, and Orscheln. 1, 2, 3 due up for Hallsville. This one skied in the air to left, hit pretty well, but should be playable out there. Circling under it and making a catch for out number 1 is Southern Boone. That one was skied to left field, hit pretty well, but just did not have enough on it, as it looks like that was Blaine Hargis who made the catch out and left, and Nichols is retired for out number 1 on just 2 pitches. So here comes Braden Matheny for Hallsville. Right on right matchup, as was the first at bat. This one a slider, and it looks to grab the outside part of the zone. Oh, and one, I guess I shouldn't say slider, but it looked like it had some left to right movement on it, so that would be my guess. But this is not the major leagues. They don't have the technology to tell you that for high school, as this one is up and in, way up and in. Didn't even come close. Looked to be on the heater, and it's now even a ball and a strike. Aaron Orscheln waits on deck, the catcher for Hallsville. This one skied in the air, off in foul territory, and that one is going to get out of play. Went over back behind us by the people just walking in here by the ballpark, but thankfully avoided everyone. It is a 2-strike count, though, now on Matheny. Here's the 1-2 delivery. It is swung on, hit in the air to shallow center field. Second baseman going out. Looks like he has the best play, and he makes a nice catch as the second baseman for Southern Boone went out just into right center field grass and made a nice play for out number 2, as Matheny almost blooped his way in there for a hit, and that was Riker Zimmerman who makes the catch for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down, a nice start on the mound for Carter Salter and Southern Boone. And now Aaron Orscheln is the last chance for Hallsville to put a base runner on in this first inning. 0-0 game, first pitch to him. Oh, that has some movement on it. That's called strike. So early on, Salter has had a good mix of heat and off-speed pitches to kind of move around that strike zone, and that makes it 0-1. Kick delivery, and that one bends upstairs, 1-1. Salter does pitch out of the lineup with no runners on. No batting gloves being worn by the hitter, Orscheln. Little unorthodox, that one's a called strike at the knees. That one was well located on the lower inside corner of the plate. I'm not sure if there was much that Orscheln was even going to be able to do with that. And it's now 1 ball, 2 strikes, so one more strike needed for Salter to end a quick bottom of the first inning if he can get it. Here is the delivery, and it is swung on, popped in the air right side. This should get him out of it. As it looks like Zimmerman once again calling for it, bends into foul ground. He falls and he can't make the catch. He was in foul territory, so it's just a foul ball. But as Zimmerman went to the ground, he could not hang on as it tipped off his glove. And Orscheln's going to get another chance at life in the batter's box. Not a ton of wind, so don't think that was the issue, but it was in the air for a very long time. Zimmerman ran all the way over from his second baseman spot into the first base foul territory. So long run, probably what contributed the most to losing the ball there at the end. It's a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Pitcher Salter looks in, glances to his catcher, and now is going to bring home the 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. It's low, skipped in there, and that'll even things up at 2-2. Orscheln bats with Jackson Smith waiting on deck. Excuse me, that's Cooper Rhodes waiting on deck. This one way up and in, and actually is going to hit him. So that's going to be the first base runner of the game for Hallsville as Aaron Orscheln is hit with the pitch. And he's going to take first base. So Hallsville, maybe something brewing here in the bottom of the first inning. See if they want to maybe get Orscheln in motion, try and get a runner into scoring position as Southern Boone did in their first trip to the plate. It's going to be up to the cleanup hitter, Cooper Rhodes. Senior also donning the no batting gloves. I'll have to keep watching this. Maybe a common theme with Hallsville. As Orscheln didn't have him on, Rhodes does not have him on, and the hitter on deck, Colton Garner, also going with the bare hands. Out of the stretch for the first time is Salter. This one bends out of the zone. Nice block behind the dish, as that one was kept from going any farther. I think that's Chase Morris back there. Well, that might be Nate Smith. Here's the first delivery. This one upstairs. Runner going. Quick throw down to second base. It's going to be a close play. The tag, and he is out. Aaron Orscheln is cut down on a caught stealing to end the inning. And never really getting a chance at the plate was Cooper Rhodes. So Hallsville retired, 3 up, 3 down, and we will go to the second, still scoreless, back in just a moment on the Show Me Sports Network.
Creating custom, handcrafted woodworking projects has never been easier. Become a member of Sawdust Studios and enjoy 24/7 access to a woodworker's paradise. Outfit with industry-leading professional-grade tools, Sawdust Studios offers endless woodworking possibilities. Don't have woodworking experience? No problem, as Sawdust Studios offers affordable classes from a community of woodworkers, experienced designers, and master craftsmen. Youth classes are also offered for those junior woodworkers. For more information, search Sawdust Studios on Facebook or find them online at sawdust247.com. Sawdust Studios, your community woodshop.
Hi, I'm retired Army Sergeant Trent Dirks, and I want to tell you about an organization that saved and changed my life forever. Retrieving Freedom provides highly trained service dogs to veterans with disabilities and children with autism, absolutely free of charge, thanks to the generous donations and support from people just like you. Experts from Retrieving Freedom help throughout the entire process, from fostering programs through service dog placement. Retrieving Freedom gave me the skilled service dog Tracer, who has been my best friend and my lifeline. To find out more about how you can get involved, volunteer, foster, or to donate, visit their website, retrievingfreedom.org. Retrieving Freedom, changing lives through the training and placement of service dogs for veterans with disabilities and children with autism.
To the second inning we go on the Show Me Sports Network. Ben Schmidt here as Andrew Orscheln heads back out to the bump. The lefty looking to make it 2 scoreless innings if he can continue to mow down this Southern Boone lineup. And here we go. Orscheln looks in as signs are set down behind the plate by Aaron Orscheln, and first pitch is fouled back, makes it 0-1. Blaine Hargis leads off this inning. Left fielder made catch for the first out of the game in the bottom of the first inning here in Hallsville between the Indians and the Eagles. Lefty's wind, kick, and delivery. Nice block behind the plate. But it's low and outside, makes it a ball, one strike count. So Hargis up with Nate Smith on deck and Hunter Richardson in the hole. For Southern Boone, 5-6-7 in the order. Nice swing right there. Nice pitch, gets an ugly swing, and that makes it 1-2. As Blaine Hargis kind of went halfway around on that off-speed pitch way out in front of it. And now a 2-strike count, and Orscheln, who had 3 strikeouts in the first inning, could get his 4th right here. Delivery on the way, and that's a called strike 3 at the knees. Hargis thought it was on the inside corner, and that's rung him up. And now 4 strikeouts as Orscheln is off and rolling. The lefty has been a good mixing and matching of off-speed pitches along with the fastball when he's needed it. And so far through the first 5 batters, he's allowed just 1 to reach. That was on a walk, but no harm allowed. It's still 0-0. So Nate Smith, the DH for Southern Boone, stepping into the box. Right-handed hitter out in front of that pitch. Makes it 0-1. Orscheln fell behind to the first 2 batters of the game, but since that point, he's been pretty good at jumping out in front of counts. Has done that so far this inning. This pitch upstairs evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out and nobody on for Southern Boone. Infield pretty much playing straight up. Everyone with both feet on the dirt, but the middle infielders play back a little bit as this one is upstairs. I should say more just the second baseman for Hallsville, that being Braden Matheny. He looks to be now on the very first cut of grass there beyond second base. Everyone else, though, feet on the dirt. It's 2 ball, 1 strike count on the batter, Nate Smith, as he goes by. 2-1 pitch on the way, swung on a miss as he blew the heat by him. That's been a good pitch so far from Orscheln when he's needed. He's been able to locate that fastball, and for the most part, I don't think Southern Boone's been able to make a whole lot of contact. They have yet to put a ball in play. 4 strikeouts and a walk. Can he get strikeout number 5? Here's the 2-2, and he's going to get it. Nice block, and it's a drop third strike, but the throw to first will retire him as the throw is made perfectly by the catcher, Aaron Orscheln, and that's 2 up, 2 down here in the second inning. Orscheln has struck out everyone outside of that 1 walk to Austin Evans in the first inning. He has had the stuff working so far. See if he can get this last out of the second inning and keep things scoreless. And that'll be number 35, Hunter Richardson, the junior and right-handed hitter. A lot of righties in this lineup so far for Southern Boone, 3 of them this inning, and another one waits on deck, that being Braden Beckman. And that was Beckman, by the way, behind the plate catching last inning. Made the caught stealing to end last inning when he threw out the runner at second base. This one going to bend out of the zone. Makes it a 1-0 count. First time that Orscheln has fallen behind a batter this inning. Richardson now back into the box. Quick wave of the bat. Richardson playing first base today. Here's the 1-0 delivery. This one misses low. Skims just above the plate and 2-0 count. Orscheln's been in a couple 2-ball counts so far, but for the most part when he's been in it, he's also had 2 strikes. As his command has been sharp, as I mentioned, has just the 1 walk so far. Here comes his 2-0 delivery. This one swung on, found out of play off to the right side. And there's his first strike of the at-bat, much needed. See if he can come right back and make it a 2-strike count. Already got 5 strikeouts so far through just an inning and 2/3. Lefty goes into his windup, kicks the leg, and brings it home. This one fouled straight back, and he's gotten 2 fouls now to make it a 2-ball, 2-strike count. And he's just 1 more strike on Richardson to end the inning. Can he get strikeout number 6? Would mean 6 of the first 7 batters of this game retired via the K. Here's the 2-2, and it's hit off to the right side and foul. That might be some of the best contact Southern Boone has had so far. Hit a couple balls in the air foul, but that one was hit more on a line, just late on it, so it went over by the Hallsville dugout. So we'll do the 2-2 pitch once again. It's been 3 straight foul balls. Richardson may be starting to time up the left-hander's deliveries. Look into the catcher. Setup looks to be at the knees, lower in the zone. quick pause before kicking up that left leg. Here's the pitch, and it's grounded. It's grounded weakly. Going to be a tough play at third base. Long throw. Richardson is going to beat it out. It was high. I think he would have beat it anyway. And that'll go down as a single, the first hit of the game for Southern Boone, as Hunter Richardson legs it out as a weak dribbler up to the third baseman. That was Tanner Daly, and he would have needed a strong-armed, perfect throw. And as I mentioned, it was high, but I think even if that's on target, Richardson probably beats that out. So that's a single and a second base runner of the game for the Eagles, and that'll allow the number 8 hitter in the order, Braden Beckman, the catcher, to come up. Pretty decent lead off at first. Now the first baseman for Hallsville going to go over and hold Richardson on. Man, who just hit the first hit of the game for Southern Boone. First pitch, skied in the air, right side, and out of play. No ball, 1 strike count on the batter, Beckman. Here's the delivery. This one just below the knees. Snap throw to first, and just getting back in safely was the runner, Richardson. He decided not go into the slide and just step on the bag standing up. And the first baseman for Hallsville, that's Lampkins down there, with a pretty quick tag, made it a very close play at first base. So runner on first, 0-0 score, and 2 outs in the inning. Ocean look over towards runner now is 1-1 pitch at the knees, but just inside. Catcher for Hallsville tried his best to frame it, as that is Orscheln back there, and he just unable to get the call. So second straight 2-ball count on a Southern Boone batter. Glance at the runner, 2-1 pitch, that's going to snap in there. Nice off-speed delivery. That had some downward movement to it, and that's going to make it 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now let's see if he can finally get that final strike and get out of the second inning scoreless. Glance of the runner, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and time is going to be called before the pitch is delivered by Orscheln, as the batter Beckman just able to get time called before Orscheln looked back towards the plate and brought home the pitch. Need to get a new baseball here before the second 2-ball, 2-strike pitch is delivered. Now looks like we're going to get things going. Hallsville defense pretty much in normal order. Lampkins holding the runner, Richardson on at first, but everyone else middle infield playing back a little bit, especially at second base. Lefty Orscheln a little bit staggered, feet on the bump. Here's the pitch, runner going, and called strike 3. Yep, that's called strike 3, and the inning is over. Runner stole second base, but I don't think Hallsville's figured out that's strike 3 to end the inning. Now they've got it, and that is strikeout number 6. So every out recorded by Andrew Orscheln has been via the K, and he gets through the second inning score. We'll take a quick break. Hallsville coming up, trying to strike first here on the Show Me Sports Network.
Last Sentinel Firearms is your federally licensed and registered Type 7 FFL manufacturer dealer in Missouri, providing quality products to all types of sports enthusiasts, law enforcement, and individuals across the nation. Orders are currently being fulfilled, offering custom-built pistols and rifles from the AR platform made right here in Missouri. Visit their website at lastsentinelfirearms.com or call them at 417-684-7202 to find out what they've got for you. Last Sentinel Firearms, you are your last line of defense.
Attention Indians fans, here's your chance to help the student athletes of Hallsville by becoming a member of the Hallsville Athletic Boosters. Your gifts help provide all Hallsville athletes with a safe and positive experience while attending our school district, and also help purchase items that our sports team couldn't otherwise afford. You can join the Hallsville Athletic Boosters this season for as little as $25. Membership is open to everyone. Interested in joining? Look them up on Facebook by searching Hallsville Athletic Boosters or email them at hallsvilleathleticboosters@gmail.com. Let's go Indians!
The bottom of the second inning here on the Show Me Sports Network. Can't ask for much better weather. Not overwhelmingly hot here in Hallsville, and maybe a very light breeze. Not enough wind to really play an impact on the game, but pretty nice weather here in early April. His final warm-up pitch is thrown by Carter Salter, who faced technically 4 batters, but while the number 4 hitter for Hallsville, that being Cooper Rose, the DH, was in the box, runner was thrown out stealing to end the inning as Beckman fired a perfect throw down to second baseman. Zimmerman made the tag. So now Rhodes going to get a second chance to hit for the first time. So Rhodes, who was unable to have an opportunity to bat in the bottom of the first with the runner on, now going to bat with the bases empty as he leads off the second inning. 0-0 ball game as both pitchers, Carter Salter for Southern Boone and Andrew Ursuline, have been pretty on top of it earlier, especially Ursuline, who has 6 strikeouts so far, has given up a hit and a walk, but no runs allowed. First pitch is crushed to left, but it's foul. He was out in front of it, hit that a mile high. Hope the cars down the left field line, the parking lot, stay out of harm's way, but if that thing is a little more on time, that is on its way to the couple of folks spectating out there beyond the left field wall. Based on that swing, you can kind of understand why Rhodes bats cleanup. Looks to be like there's some power in that bat with that uppercut. Now the 0-1 pitch misses low, and it's 1-1. Hopefully at some point in this game we see Rhodes with a swing like that, but a little straightened out, and that ball jumps off his bat. 1-1 pitch. This one once again ripped to left, but it's going to be off the building in foul territory. That one a little more on the line, but once again he got into that one just out in front. If I'm a pitcher, I don't know if I'm throwing him a pitch that's at the upper chest or any higher, because he can certainly turn on one if he can just keep it fair. But now he's going to have to battle. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count as Salter has gotten ahead. Salter did not have any strikeouts in the first, but retired everyone. This one swung on a miss, so there it is. Don't know if that was the right time to bring it up, as the Hallsville broadcaster announcer Jinx strikes again as Rhodes just struck out. First K of the game for Salter, and out number 1 here in the second. So now stepping in will be the number 5 hitter for Hallsville, Colton Garner. Gardner in center field for the Indians. Because back to my proposed question last inning, I do finally see a batter on deck wearing batting gloves for Hallsville. Aiden Lampkins appears to be sporting them, so the streak of men with just the bare hands is over. Ball 1, by the way, to the number 5 hitter, Colton Garner. The wind, the kick, and the 1-0 delivery is way inside. Almost got Garner, but it steers clear. Now 2-0. See if maybe Salter's a little bit wild and can give Hallsville their second base runner of the game. 2-0 delivery. This one swung on and fouled back off the backstop. Ump had to get a couple baseballs before this next pitch. Now it's 2 balls and a strike on Gardner. Bats one out and nobody on in the bottom of the second for Hallsville. This game cruising along thanks to 2 pitchers on top of things early. This one fly to shallow right center. Who wants it? Everyone converges, and a sliding grab. Did he make the catch? I think he did. And out is called. What a sliding grab by the right fielder, Tristan McKee, as he lost the hat but went into a full slide to make the grab. And there was a moment, didn't know if what hit the ground was his sunglasses or the baseball, but it was his sunglasses, and that's an out. And tough luck for Gardner as he almost blooped his way towards a 1-out single. But McKee said not so fast, and that's 2 out in the inning. That is just tough luck for Hallsville. He's almost had a 1-out base runner. First pitch up and into the number 6 batter, Aiden Lampkins. The wind, kick, and the delivery by Salter. Lampkins swings out in front of it as he tried to jump on that off speed, but it was just a tick too early, and that evens the count up 1-1. Next delivery is going to bend inside, makes it a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Even bigger on that McKee sliding catch, although Evans had run over there. That gets past McKee. Who knows how far it bounces. By the time Evans catches it, Hallsville could have a runner at the very least at second base. This one just off the inside part of the plate, so 3-1. It wasn't hit all that hard, but with your right fielder sliding, if you miss that ball and it kicks by you, center fielder's got to go track that thing down, and it could have bounced and rolled. 3-1 pitch. This one smacked center field, hit more on a line. That's sinking, and that's going to get down for a base hit. No chance for either outfielder to catch that one as Evans over to retrieve it, but that is a 2-out single for number 6 batter, Aiden Lampkin. So first hit of the game for Hallsville. They had a walk back in the first inning, and the runner was caught stealing. See if they are maybe a little more hesitant to put Lampkins in motion. He sees on first with 2 outs. As the pitcher Orscheln bats, and this one's lined into left field for a base hit. Lampkins was running, so even though it's hit to left, he's going to make the turn ahead to third. Good throw, head first dive, and he's in there safely. And backside Orscheln takes second base, and now 2 in scoring position for Hallsville. So that was a big decision there by Hargis to make the throw to third, even with Lampkins getting a great jump. And because of that, the pitcher and batter at the plates, Andrew Orscheln, was able to take second base on the backside. So that is huge because now a single could make it 2-0 instead of just 1-0. They will run for Orscheln since he is the pitcher, and they will use Will Ewens to run for him at second base. Mispronounced it. It was I believe for a moment there before he jumped on that first pitch, I said it was Aaron Orscheln. I was incorrect. Orscheln, the pitcher, was the one at the plate. Andrew Orscheln, the same man who has struck out 6 batters so far, and now has a single to his name. So now 2 runners in scoring position with the number 8 hitter, Tanner Daly, up, and he's going to take a first pitch strike at the knees. Home Hallsville crowd who saw that thing did not really agree with it, but nothing they can do now, and it's 0-1. So it was 2 out, nobody on before a single by Lampkins and a single by Andrew Orscheln, and now second and third with 2 out as this one's upstairs, 1-1. Tanner Daly with pretty good room to work with. If he can send this thing the outfield grass, Ewens looks like he has good speed at second base. Could give Hallsville not 1 but maybe 2 runs. 1-1 pitch. This one lined to right field. Coming over is McKee. He falls down and he can't make the K. It's going to get past him and go to the outfield grass. On his way to second is the batter as both runs score. The tie gets second, and he is safe as Tanner Daly is delivered with a 2-run RBI double. McKee tried to make the same sliding grab that he made a moment ago for the second out of the inning, and this one just ran out of room, and that proves costly because both runners come around to score, and moving up to second base is Daly, and it's 2-0 Hallsville. Now Gage Harbison bats with another runner in scoring position. He's going to smack this one to third base. Tough hop, and nicely played by Reynolds over there. Throw on to first is in time, and that will end the inning. But not before Tanner Daly comes up clutch. A 2 RBI single to right gets the first runs on the board, and Hallsville's up 2-0 as we head to the third on the Show Me Sports Network.
At Hallsville School District, our educators do more than just teach. Lives are being shaped for the future before they even enter a classroom. For students to succeed, it takes an entire district-wide team. Join Hallsville School District's team today, now offering competitive salaries and benefits for all positions. Visit hallsville.org and click on the employment link under Our District tab.
Since 2018, Han Custom Laser Engraving LLC has been specializing in all things custom, using large format, high-powered lasers with some of the most advanced technologies on the market. Anything can become a canvas. This state-of-the-art system makes quick work of custom engraving on cups, glass, tile, wood, acrylic, metal, headstones with endless possibilities. They also offer custom one-of-a-kind signs that are sure to make your design stand out. Find them on Facebook at Han Custom Laser Engraving or call 573-489-8732 to find out more. Han Custom Laser Engraving LLC, a veteran-owned business.
Top of the third inning on the Show Me Sports Network as Hallsville now up 2-0, and Andrew Orscheln, who has 6 Ks through his first 2 innings on the bump, tries to make it 3 straight scoreless innings. Hallsville just took the lead a moment ago after Tanner Daly lined a 2-run single to right field that allowed not only the lead runner for Hallsville, Aiden Lampkins, to score, but then the runner trailing behind him, Will Ewens, to follow in as well. Even if McKee makes a sliding grab there, or slides and knocks it down, I still think Ewens scores from second anyway. Now first pitch, swing and a miss, 0-1 on the hitter at the plate for Southern Boone. It's Carter Salter. I believe that's Carter Salter batting for Southern Boone. Yep, that's him. Next delivery is swung on a miss again, makes it 0-2 as Orscheln has come right at his pitching counterpart. Salter now in an 0-2 count. See if you can make it 7 punch-outs would be every Eagles out so far. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the lefty's delivery, and it's way up and in, and it hits him on the upper back. And the pitcher, Salter, not happy as he threw the bat out of the way. Clearly not intentional. Don't know why he would hit the pitcher with the first batter of the 3rd inning, but Salter didn't like it. Hill on down to first base for the first base runner of the inning, and it looks like they're going to pitch run for him. Salter's going to give that helmet up to the runner, Tucker Salter. I have to assume that those two are related, but the former will head on back to the dugout after being hit by a pitch. So a shame there for Orscheln as he had him in an 0-2 count and basically blew 2 by him on the first 2 pitches of the at-bat. But now the hit by pitch means a leadoff base runner. Southern Boone looking to push across their first run to the game, now trailing by 2 here in the top of the 3rd. Last batter in this order, Tristan McKee, who had the 2 sliding attempts last inning, 1 for a catch and 1 not for a catch. This one a called strike. Excuse me, no, it's not McKee at the plate. It's back to the top of the order and Chase Morris. Morris lit off this game with a strikeout for Southern Boone. Quick check of the runner, bunt shown, and he misses it again. It's 0-2. Snap throw to first. They got a chance, and he just gets back in safely. Salter had a little bit of an awkward slide, but he was able to get that left foot on the bag. Regardless, Morris is now in an 0-2 count after 2 failed bunt attempts. And see if this leadoff hitter for Southern Boone can, would assume, not be the bunt on right here. And throw over to first, but diving back in safely is Salter. Lefty straightens up, pitching out of the stretch, looking directly at that runner leading off of first. Morris in an 0-2 count, and time is called by Morris after Orscheln continued to stare down that runner off of first base. So we'll take a moment, step out of the box, and now get back in, ready to go. They're going to give him an extra moment. Before now, Morris back in. Right-hander. Morris playing shortstop. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and it's outside. Fake throw by the catcher, Orscheln, but does not let it leave his hand, and it's now 1 ball, 2 strike count on Morris. A lot of room to work with on that right side of the infield for Morris if he could take it that way with the first baseman, Lampkins, covering the bag. Check out the runner. Here's the 1-2, and it's swung on and just got a piece of it. Went between the legs of the umpire, and that's foul. Keeps it at 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes. Nobody out and a runner on in the top of the 3rd for Southern Boone. Check of the runner. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and it is upstairs. Did he go around? They appealed to the infield umpire, and he did not swing. Morris started to go, but held up his swing in time. Looked like he did, and once the appeal was finally given to the umpire standing out by second base, they ruled no swing. So now even 2 balls and 2 strikes. Morris able to work the count a little bit at least against Orscheln. Glaring down the runner is the left-hander. Now his 2-2 delivery swung on and missed. And that's out number 1, a big one, as Orscheln's now got 7 Ks on the game. And even bigger, it gets Morris out without allowing him to move that runner up into scoring position. So now 1 out into the 3rd inning. Orscheln, every out he's gotten so far has been via the K. And now the left-handed batter, Austin Evans, steps in. He reached on a walk, stole second base in the 1st inning, going to take a first pitch ball. Runner off at first, that is Tucker Salter, who ran for the pitcher. Carter Salter was hit by a pitch on an 0-2 count to start the inning, and then Orscheln bounced back with the K. Now 1 out and 1 on. Here's the delivery. This one grounded back up the middle. Can the second baseman get there? Matheny's got it. Flipped to second for 1. It's going to be a tough turn. They're not going to even throw it. But they do get the lead runner, Salter, and that's big. It was hit pretty deep in the hole, and Matheny, once he chased after it, was able to get it to the covering Nichols. But I'm pretty sure by the time Nichols had that ball, the batter Evans was already across first base. So it is a fielder's choice, second out of the inning. First out the Eagles have recorded that has not been a strikeout. So now one more out to get for Orscheln to get through this third inning with another 0 up on that scoreboard out in left field. As Riker Zimmerman steps in, see if Evans inclined to steal again like he did in the first. Not going to run here, and that's a called strike, 0-1. Pretty decent lead, despite Lampkins holding the runner Evans on at first base. Here's the delivery. This one skipped in. They're going to go to the backstop and allow Evans to take second easily. He's going to round second, but he'll stay put there. He was not running on the pitch, but the delivery was well short of home plate and bounced right over the glove of Orscheln. Andrew Orscheln on the mound with the catcher Aaron Orscheln behind the dish. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out. Pretty similar position that it was in the first inning when Evans was stranded at second base. Here's the 1-1 delivery, grounded right side, but that is foul. It's now danger time once again for the Eagles. This is where Orscheln has really made his money in 2 strike counts. This could be his 8th punch out in just 3 innings of work if he can get that one final strike and end this inning. Lefty takes the bump, dangles that left arm just below the belt, waits on the sign from the catcher. Now he's got it, brings that ball up into his glove, glaring back towards that runner as Nichols plays right behind him. Here's the pitch, line to right field, but it's going to bend out of play over that fence and will stay at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Evans took off towards third when that ball was hit. Gonna have to jog on back to second base. Evans looks like he has real good speed, so you would assume pretty much any ball that finds outfield grass would score him and cut this 2-0 lead in half. 1 ball, 2 strike delivery. He's running. It's just inside. Orscheln didn't even bother throwing to third because he was trying to frame up that strike 3, but it's just off the inside part of the plate, and it's 2-2. And now Evans 90 feet away, or less than 90 feet, pardon me. We're not in the major leagues. He's at third base regardless, so can't afford another wild pitch here like the one a moment ago that allowed Evans to get the second at the time. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Zimmerman. Here's the pitch upstairs. Nice stab by Orscheln on the way by to keep that one from going to the backstop, and it's now run full. So Evans off a third has reached both times for Southern Boone in his 2 plate appearances. And Riker Zimmerman, who was retired via strikeout first time in the box, and he starts to swing. Did he go around? They appeal. He did not, so that is a walk. They're going to throw to second just in case, but it was not a strikeout, so he is safe at first base. Runner's going to be at the corners. Orscheln, the catcher, looked like he thought that batter Zimmerman went around, but they rule he held up. I'll tell you what, it was very, very close. That bat was making its way towards home plate, but Zimmerman able to hold up, set up, put runners on the corners, and bring up the cleanup hitter, Jace Reynolds, for Southern Boone. Very big at bat coming up here. Hallsville just took the lead 2-0 in the bottom half of the second. And Orscheln trying to keep the momentum on the side of Hallsville and not allow Southern Boone to cut into it. See if they put the runner at first in motion. That's Zimmerman. First pitch swung on a miss as he blew the fastball by him 0-1. That continues to be a pretty successful pitch for the left-hander so far early on in this one. Runner off a third. That's Evans, and Zimmerman with a pretty short lead off of first base. Lampkins is holding him on. Third baseman Daly playing relatively close to the line with a right-handed batter. Here comes the lefty's 0-1 pitch, swung on, fouled back just off the glove, and it is 0-2. It's a nice response here so far, getting 2 straight strikes. Just needs that final one to put this third inning to bed. They have not put the runner, Zimmerman, in first base in motion. Risk of running yourself out of the inning. At the same point, if you can successfully make it to second base, a single could tie this game up. Runners going, and the step off, they're not even going to have a play. Zimmerman heads up base running right there as he realized that Orscheln was too focused on the pitch. Now his runners at second and third. Here's the pitch, and just missed. They thought he rung him up for called strike 3, as Orscheln was essentially standing up when he caught that pitch. Instead, it's 1-2. working very quickly now, trying to pick up some tempo with 2 men in scoring position. 1-2 pitch, and it is swung on ground to left side. Daly is going to have to make a long throw to first. He will make it high, and it's going to pull him off the bag. Now getting up as a first baseman. Second runner comes home. They put the tag on Zimmerman. He is out at the dish, and it stays 2-1. So one runner scores. That's the lead runner, Evans, as the throw is high. But the second runner is cut down as a good throw from the first baseman, Lampkins. Orscheln allowed the trail runner Zimmerman to be out at the plate. So Southern Boone scores, makes it 2-1, but that's all they get. We'll head to the bottom of the third on the Show Me Sports Network.
The following public service announcement is brought to you by the Eddie Gaedel Society, Jefferson City Chapter 10, doing little things to make a big difference.
Want to make a big difference in your community? Be kind to others, drive safely, and put litter in its proper place.
Join us in celebrating Eddie Gaedel's historic Major League appearance as a member of the St. Louis Browns by doing something nice for someone today.
Take a walk, Eddie!
At Centurion Cares, for more than 3 decades, their focus has been on exceeding customer expectations for contact center software solutions. Their innovative communication solutions include utility interactive voice response software that allows for smart communication features that let your utility deliver superior customer service 24/7. They also provide other streamlined services like automatic call distribution, automated customer callback, reporting, and quality assurance. To find out more about how Centurion Cares can help your business, call them at 727-421-5300 or look them up online at centurioncares.com. Centurion Cares, innovative communication solutions.
At the Boone County Journal, we're with you all the way. We know that you're more than just a subscriber. You're an employer, you're a parent, you're a neighbor. Most importantly, you're a community member. It's our goal to provide you with the latest news, sports, opinions, obituaries, classifieds, and more to keep you informed about your community. To find out more about the Boone County Journal or to subscribe, call 573-657-2334 or visit bocojoe.com. The Boone County Journal. We're with you all the way.
Bottom of the third inning, and the first pitch is a call to strike on Colton Nichols, the leadoff batter for Hallsville. See if the Indians can steal some of the momentum right back that they just gave up, with Southern Boone scoring 1 run on the last play of the top of the third. Trail runner thrown out at the dish. 0-1 pitch. Nichols bends out of the zone, makes it 1-1. Nichols was retired to start the game for Hallsville, so now his second plate appearance. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2-1 Hallsville lead. Here's the delivery to Nichols and called strike. Nice pitch there by Salters. He took a little bit off it and caught Nichols looking. Makes it 1-2. Salter just 1 K through his first 2 innings. Has gotten a couple ground ball outs. 1-2 delivery and swung on a miss as Nichols went chasing as that one bent out of the zone. Throw down to first and is retired. Nichols trying to hit that pitch as it bent its way out of the lower part of the zone and could not come up with anything. So he's retired to start the bottom of the third inning. Salter may be settling in a little bit, and here comes the number 2 hitter, Braden Matheny. Matheny raised with the right hand, calling time as he steps into the box. Now ready to go, right on right matchup. Here's the first delivery to him. Another pitch similar to the one that got Colton Nichols swinging. This time Matheny takes it, and it's 1-0. Matheny wearing black sleeve on his right arm with that purple jersey. Next pitch, hit in the air, shallow center field. Coming in is Evans, McKee. They all converge, but it's actually the second baseman, Zimmerman, who goes out and makes the catch just into outfield grass for out number 2. So just a couple pitches needed by Salter, and he's got 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Top of this Hallsville order being retired quickly. And here comes the number 3 hitter, Aaron Orscheln, the catcher. He was hit by a pitch his first time up, but then caught stealing second base to end that inning. See if he could run into one here maybe and give the Indians that run they just let up right back. Light wave of the bat. Here's the first pitch to him. He's going to take it all the way. 0-1. It's been a quick inning, so couldn't hurt Hallsville to maybe have a prolonged at bat right here, as Nichols went down on just 4 pitches and Matheny retired on 2. Here's the 0-1 pitch. This one swung on, hit well to left. Going back is the left fielder Hargis. He slows up and makes the catch for out number 3. It's a quick inning for the pitcher, Carlos Salter, as he retires 1-2-3 in the Hallsville order. And that will send us to the 4th inning. 2-1 Hallsville still leads. We'll be back in just a moment on the Show Me Sports Network.
Running out of some of your favorite Avon products and haven't seen an Avon brochure in quite some time? No need to worry. Avon Independent Sales Representative Michelle Carty can help with your Skin So Soft makeup, jewelry, fragrance, and skincare needs. Avon now carries cleaning supplies, clothing, daily essentials, and several small LG electronic items. You now have the opportunity to shop online 24/7 and have your order shipped directly to your front door by shopping with Michelle at mcarty.avonrepresentative.com or find her on Facebook by searching Avon Carty.
In today's world, injury prevention is at the top of everyone's list. However, heat-related occurrences get routinely overlooked. Zealous WBGT puts that front and center. By using cutting-edge formulas and technology, Zealous WBGT streamlines and simplifies obtaining and documenting wet bulb globe temperature readings. With a simple touch of a button, you can check WBGT anywhere in the world, receiving alerts when the WBGT goes over the threshold you select. Join the stress-free way to protect student-athletes, employees, and overall operations from extreme heat by downloading the free Zealous WBGT app today. Save time, save money, save lives with Zealous WBGT.
Hello, Blake Gazaway here with the Show Me Sports Network. I've had the opportunity to have some amazing calls, including overtime touchdowns, walk-off home runs, and buzzer-beating baskets. But I've answered another call. That's to serve my community as a volunteer firefighter. Stop and think what would happen if your home or property caught fire and no one was there to put it out. Every day, volunteer firefighters not only save lives and property, but also respond to other emergencies. Nearly 2/3 of our nation's fire departments are manned by volunteer firefighters. And because of this, we simply need more volunteers to step up and answer the call. Stop by or contact your local fire department and see how you can become a volunteer firefighter today. I answered the call to serve my community. Will you?
To the fourth inning we go here on the Show Me Sports Network as Andrew Ursuline looks to keep Hallsville out in front as they went very quickly in the bottom half of the third on offense. So he's back out on the mound after a short rest, and he fires in a quick strike to start off the at-bat to Blaine Hargis, and it's 0-1. Hargis, right-handed hitter, facing the lefty pitcher. He's going to take a strike at the knees. Two very nice deliveries to start this inning, and it's 0-2. See if Ursuline can get strikeout number 8. His first 7 outs were all via the K. Got the last 2 of the third in different fashion. Here's the delivery to him. Swung on a miss. Says good morning, good afternoon, and good night to Hargis. For good measure, started like they were going to throw down to first, but then looks like Ursuline did eventually hold on, and on just 3 pitches, Hargis is punched out, and that's the first out here of the fourth inning. So a real chance here in Andrew Ursuline to go for double-digit punch outs if he keeps up this pace. And now Nate Smith, the designated hitter for the Eagles, will step in with nobody on and 1 out. Right-handed batter's first pitch will swung on and foul it off the glove. Might have even hit the umpire, as might have got him in the upper leg, and they're going to give him just a moment. As the catcher Ursuline recognized that and is going to walk the ball all the way out to his pitcher. Hope the umpire is all right. Think it got him in the chest. That's what he's pointing to. He's going to walk it off. Looks like he's a tough guy. Signals that he's all right, and everyone will now regroup at home plate in a no-ball, 1-strike count. So 4 pitches thrown this inning by Ursuline, all 4 for strikes. Bunch of swings and misses by the first batter of the inning, Hargis, and then the foul ball right there. Nate Smith at the plate with Hunter Richardson on deck and Braden Beckerman to follow if either of those two reach. Center fielder Garner playing just a little bit shaded towards the right center field. Swung on a miss right here as the off-speed pitch got Smith to swing it over the top of it. And now an 0-2 count for the second batter of the inning. Second baseman Matheny just on the edge of the outfield grass. 0-2 pitch, swung on, ground to third, and that is foul. Oh, I didn't want to bring it up yet, but I was hoping as we went to 5 pitches, 5 strikes that maybe we near immaculate inning territory, but that dream is now over as the foul ball right there extends this at bat. So we'll do the 0-2 pitch again after that foul ball lined just off of third base. Looks like they're going to set up low for this next delivery. Swing is swung on and missed, and back-to-back strikeouts to start the top of the fourth inning for Orscheln, as he has retired the first two he's faced in pretty quick fashion. And now here comes the number 7 hitter, Hunter Richardson, trying to keep the inning alive. If Orscheln can get him on strikes and strike out the side, it would mean double-digit punch-outs in just 4 innings of work. He's been pretty excellent and would have 0 runs allowed if not for the error last inning. This one swung on and missed 0-1. So yeah, just one. No real official scorekeeper, I don't believe, but I would assume that that was an unearned run charged to him in the third due to the throwing error made by Daly. 0-1 delivery on its way. This one at the knees, called strike. Can't locate much better than that. It is 0-2 for the third straight batter. As quick work, believe this will be just the 10th pitch thrown of the inning. It's either the 10th or 11th, going for striking out the side. Here's Orscheln. Lefty looks in. They are setting up way low. As going through a couple signs, think this is going to be the fastball. We'll see, though. Here's the delivery. It is, and called strike 3 as Andrew Orscheln, delivering to his brother Aaron Orscheln, has struck out the side and has double-digit punch-outs as he's through 4 innings of work. It's still 2-1. Hallsville leads. We'll head to the bottom half of the inning. Back in just a moment on the Show Me Sports Network.
Creating custom, handcrafted woodworking projects has never been easier. Become a member of Sawdust Studios and enjoy 24/7 access to a woodworker's paradise. Outfit with industry-leading professional-grade tools, Sawdust Studios offers endless woodworking possibilities. Don't have woodworking experience? No problem, as Sawdust Studios offers affordable classes from a community of woodworkers, experienced designers, and master craftsmen. Youth classes are also offered for those junior woodworkers. For more information, search Sawdust Studios on Facebook or find them online at sawdust247.com. Sawdust Studios, your community woodshop.
Hi, I'm retired Army Sergeant Trent Dirks, and I want to tell you about an organization that saved and changed my life forever. Retrieving Freedom provides highly trained service dogs to veterans with disabilities and children with autism, absolutely free of charge, thanks to the generous donations and support from people just like you. Experts from Retrieving Freedom help throughout the entire process, from fostering programs through service dog placement. Retrieving Freedom gave me the skilled service dog Tracer, who has been my best friend and my lifeline. To find out more about how you can get involved, volunteer, foster, or to donate, visit their website, retrievingfreedom.org. Retrieving Freedom, changing lives through the training and placement of service dogs for veterans with disabilities and children with autism.
Last Sentinel Firearms is your federally licensed and registered Type 7 FFL manufacturer dealer in Missouri, providing quality products to all types of sports enthusiasts, law enforcement, and individuals across the nation. Orders are currently being fulfilled, offering custom-built pistols and rifles from the AR platform made right here in Missouri. Visit their website at lastsentinelfirearms.com or call them at 417-684-7202 to find out what they've got for you. Last Sentinel Firearms, you are your last line of defense.
Cooper Rhodes up to lead it off for Hallsville as we start this bottom of the 4th inning. 2-1 lead for the Indians. Ben Schmidt here on the Show Me Sports Network on this Tuesday evening here in early April between Hallsville and Southern Boone. Thanks for spending it here with us on the Show Me Sports Network. First pitch to Rhodes, snapped off right at the knees, makes it 0-1 on the designated hitter, who, although he struck out in his first at-bat, hit a couple moonshots foul down the left field line. So see if you can straighten that out and really put a charge into 1. 0-1 pitch, grounded left side, and that's foul. He's ahead of it again, 0-2. So far for Cooper Rhodes, that's been the issue for the first 2 at-bats at least, as he's been out in front of the right-hander Salter's pitches. Gardner, the center fielder for Hallsville, not the Southern Boone pitcher. Salter's 0-2 delivery to Rhodes is going to bend out of the zone as catcher behind the dish. Beckman tried to frame it, but does not get the call. It's 1-2. Salter does not have the strikeout stuff that Orscheln has had so far, which is 2 punch-outs through his first 3 innings, but has been for the most part effective, allowed just 2 runs, both of them scoring on the same hit. His pitch in the dirt, did he go around? They rule he did not, and that makes it 2-2. Ball went to the backstop, so would have been off to the races for Rhodes had they ruled he swung, but he did not, so it'll even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes. First batter of the bottom of the 4th inning for Hallsville. To wind the kick and the righty's delivery. Swung on, hit well to left. Going back is the left fielder, but he has a play Thought that had a little bit more to it than it did off the bat from my vantage point right here. Can't tell how close Hargis got to that wall, but he is retired. Maybe it was me just really wanting him to blast one out here to left field. Hargis didn't have to run a long way to make the catch, but he made it, and that's one I point out here in the bottom of the fourth. So number 5 hitter Colton Garner smacks first pitch, but it's foul down the left field line at 1-1. Tell you what, a lot of these Hallsville hitters, they're just a little bit out in front of the pitches from Salter. There's been a whole lot of foul balls so far down that left field side, and it's now 0-1 as Salter looks to match his counterpart Oshland with a 0 put up here in the 4th inning. This game going by pretty quickly. We're on pace at the moment for just about a 2-hour game. 0-1 delivery to Gardner. Going to skip in there. Nice block behind the plate by Beckman. That makes 1 ball and 1 strike. Infield playing relatively normal lineup against a right-hand hitting Gardner. This one snapped in there. Nice pitch. And that makes it 1-2. Salter delivery had some movement to it and got to be brought in well by Beckman, and it was. So gets the strike on what appeared to be a little bit on the outside corner. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and it's up and stairs and outside, and we're even. Rolled all the way up to the backstop right by where I'm sitting. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out here for Hallsville. Could use some insurance runs. They lead 2-1. Now here's the next delivery to Gardner. Swung on, hit to left on a line. That's going to drop down for a base hit. No play for Hargis out there. And Gardner's on with a single to left with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Jumped all over that pitch as he hit one kind of like that early in the at-bat, but just was out in front, but foul. This one timing a little bit better, and he's got a base hit. Now Aiden Lampkins, who scored Hallsville's first run of the game. Both the runs coming in on the same play, but he was the lead runner as Daly drove in both with single. Now see if he can help contribute as a throw over to first, but diving back in safely was Gardner. Gardner on first, Lampkins in. And Andrew Orschelin waiting on deck. First baseman Richardson holding on the runner. They clearly believe he's going as another throw over to first. That's already 2 before a pitch has been thrown. And both times diving back in safely has been Gardner. Maybe just a slightly larger lead for Gardner now. Quick check of him by the pitcher Salter. And here's his first delivery way upstairs. Snap throw down to first base, but diving back in safely is Gardner. That wasn't a pitch out, but the catcher Beckman was pretty much standing all the way up by the time he caught that ball, so might have been a wasted first pitch to start the at-bat. Lampkin's not showing a sign there at all that he was going to bunt. No reason to do it with already an out recorded in the inning. Another throw over to first. They are really concerned over there with Gardner as he dives back in safely. Ball was momentarily lost by Richardson, but he retrieves it. Be kind of funny if after all the pickoffs he never even runs. This one hit in the air to right center field and way high in the air. McKee plenty of time to go over and run under it, and he makes the catch head high for out number 2. So an unproductive at bat there by Lampkins as sent it to right field, and that's a out number 2 with that runner still at first base. And here comes Andrew Orschelin, who lined a base hit to left field with 2 outs. Similar situation his first time up. There was 2 outs and a runner on first, lined a pitch to left field, and allowed Hallsville to eventually come and bring 2 around. See if he can do the exact same thing right here. Snap throw over to first. That is the 4th time they've thrown over to first with Gardner on. So they are clearly concerned about him trying to get into scoring position. Now the lefty hitting Orschelin will step back into the box. Third baseman Reynolds maybe even shaded a little bit more towards the hole at short this time after seeing the opposite field ability that Orschelin had his last at bat. Pitch out here, and it's upstairs 1-0. A lot of attention being paid to that runner of Gardner with really no inclination so far that he's even running. It's not like he has a giant leadoff down there, and they are so scared of him that they throw over again. If you couldn't guess, Gardner did get back in safely. No balls, one strike. Excuse me, 1 ball, no strike. It's called strike. Runner going, throw down to second. The tag ball gets away, and Gardner's in there safely. How about that for Colton Gardner? No matter how many times you throw over, he swipes the bag anyway, and he's now in scoring position. The shortstop, I believe that was Morris, who tried to make the tag. Gets up a little slow. Hope he is all right. And he went diving for that baseball. Both Gardner and Morris got there at the same time, and as Morris went into kind of a dive to grab that ball, collided a little bit. Hope he is all right. A little bit slow to get up, and now there is a runner in scoring position. Pitch was a called strike, so it is 1-1 on Orscheln. And now we'll wait and see whether Morris is all right. Hopefully so. There's a couple different people out there to check on him. And he tells everyone that he is okay. He's actually going to fist bump the base runner Gardner, who he collided with. Good show of sportsmanship right there. And everyone is all good. So now see if Orscheln can maybe even help himself out. Base hit could get that run back that he gave up in the top of the third, as we're now in the bottom of the fourth. The Hallsville up 2-1. Gardner clapping his hands at second base as he takes his lead. Morris shades behind him, but not really holding him on. Now Morris fixed he was going to go cover. Next delivery, called strike at the knees on the outside corner. Good delivery right there by Salter. Punch out of his counterpart on the bump right here. We give him his third of the game. Base hit, though. Likely makes it 3-1 Hallsville as long as it reaches the outfield. Pretty good lead for Gardner off of second base. Doing a little bit of dancing around now. They throw back to second. Quick tag by Morris. And just back in safely was Gardner. Tell you what, the pickoff moves to first were not all that contested, but that one at second was, as Gardner was just able to dive back in safely ahead of the tag by the shortstop Morris. One ball is 2 strikes. Next delivery way upstairs. And no offer added by hitter Orscheln. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. So deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Now the coaches for Southern Boone are going to go out and check on the pitcher. Interesting, as I know that one was upstairs, but he did get a couple strikes on Orscheln, and now they're going to, I guess, talk a couple things through. Maybe go over the approach right here with the hitter being a pitcher at the plate and a base runner in scoring position. Sure, they don't want to let this get any bigger than a 1-run deficit. It was a quick meeting, probably just going over some strategy, and back to the dugout goes coach for Southern Boone. I believe it would be one of the assistant coaches, either Damon Wren or Doug Boyer. Don't think that was the head coach for Southern Boone, but do not know for certain. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Orscheln. He's got 10 punch-outs on the mound. Can he come through with a hit? Watches a pitch right here, and it snaps out of the zone and runs full. Southern Boone thought they had themselves a called strike 3, but they do not get it as it falls off the outside part of the plate. And now it's run full. It would be a big walk right here and bring up the man on deck. That is Tanner Daly, who delivered his last time out. Could he get another chance to do it again? 3-2 pitch. Runner goes, swung on and fouled off. We will do it again. Gardner, I think he got a pretty decent jump there. Had it been ball 4, don't know if they would have had a play at third to try and get him. But regardless, it was fouled off, so lefty will have to do it again. Looks like he's slightly choking up on that bat. Light wave of it over his back shoulder. Pitcher Salter comes set. Quick check of the runner. Not going to throw back. And just getting back safely with no throw is Gardner. Probably recognized that he was stealing a moment ago on the foul ball. I wanted to keep him at bay. With some of the wildness there's been today, if he steals third on a walk to Orscheln, could prove large. Here's the 3-2, way outside, and that is ball 4. Gardner stayed put at second base, but now 2 runners on with 2 outs for Hallsville again. A very similar scenario as it was with Daly up in the second. Now he's going to have the same crack at it here on the 4th as Orscheln walks. He'll be removed for a pinch runner, as that's once again Will Ewens running at first base. Now we'll see what Tanner Daly can do. He's got 2 RBIs. Can he add to it? So righty v righty. Salter looking in towards his catcher. Beckman, who puts down the signs. Relatively short leads. Now Morris goes behind second. They throw back, but back in standing is Gardner. With what appears to be good speed at both first and second for Hallsville, I guess I wouldn't be shocked if they try and move him up to second and third. Make it another scenario where single gets Hallsville 2 runs, but don't want to run yourself out of this 4th inning. First delivery to Daly, up and in, and he'll take it for ball one. Tanner Daly wearing the stirrup socks and no batting gloves for the men in purple. Decent lead for Gardner off second as Morris plays behind him. First pitch hit high in the air to left. Second pitch high in the air to left. But regardless, Hargis should have a play to end the inning. Shortstop Morris actually going out, and he makes the catch to retire the side. So Hallsville puts a couple runners on, but they can't bring him across the plate, and this stays a 2-1 game as we'll head to the fifth on the Show Me Sports Network.
At Hallsville School District, our educators do more than just teach. Lives are being shaped for the future before they even enter a classroom. For students to succeed, it takes an entire district-wide team. Join Hallsville School District's team today, now offering competitive salaries and benefits for all positions. Visit hallsville.org and click on the employment link under Our District tab.
Since 2018, Han Custom Laser Engraving LLC has been specializing in all things custom, using large format, high-powered lasers with some of the most advanced technologies on the market. Anything can become a canvas. This state-of-the-art system makes quick work of custom engraving on cups, glass, tile, wood, acrylic, metal, headstones with endless possibilities. They also offer custom one-of-a-kind signs that are sure to make your design stand out. Find them on Facebook at Han Custom Laser Engraving or call 573-489-8732 to find out more. Han Custom Laser Engraving LLC, a veteran-owned business.
The following public service announcement is brought to you by the Eddie Gaedel Society, Jefferson City Chapter 10, doing little things to make a big difference.
Want to make a big difference in your community? Be kind to others, drive safely, and put litter in its proper place.
Join us in celebrating Eddie Gaedel's historic Major League appearance as a member of the St. Louis Browns by doing something nice for someone today.
Take a walk, Eddie.
Andrew Ursuline back to start the fifth inning of work on the mound as he's got a 2-1 lead. As first pitch is lined out to short, playing it on a hop is Nichols. Nicely done. Long throw to first is in time. And being retired to start the inning was Braden Beckman. And Nichols really had to wait back on that line drive, and he did a nice job. And gets out number one on just one pitch. Pitcher's best friend, one pitch, one out. And Nichols not only made a nice fielding play, but made a strong throw and one down in the fifth. So Carter Salter, the pitcher, up. He was hit by a pitch up on the upper back. Last time he swings and misses 0-1. He was down 0-2 when he was hit on a pretty similar scenario where he swung through a couple pitches as he did there to make it 0-1. Ursuline has 10 Ks so far, one out into the fifth. No balls and a strike. Bunt shown. It's going to be put down. Nice one as Ursuline is off the mound. Lefty spins, throws to first, and it's in time. That's PFP, baby. Pitcher's fielding practice proves large right there, as fielding his position well was Ursuline, and it's now on just 3 pitches, 2 outs recorded in the top of the fifth. Nicely done for the left-hander. So last chance to extend the inning here for Southern Boone is Chase Morris back up for his third at-bat of the game. Struck out in his very first at-bat to get things going. I believe he also struck out his last time up as well. First pitch to him was a called strike, so it is 0-1 on the shortstop, who had that collision last inning but was okay enough to stay in the game. He fouls us off, and it is very quickly 0-2. So if Ursuline can get him here, it would give him a 6-pitch inning, 3 up, 3 down. Got the first batter on the first pitch. He got Salter on 2 pitches, a bunt for an out, and now he's had 0-2 on Chase Morris. Quick time now into the box is Morris. Lefty with that glove pressed up against his right leg. Now he's going to bring it up to his chest. The wind, the kick, and his 0-2. Swung on, and did he go around? He did, and that's strike 3 to end the inning. 11th K of the game for Andrew Ursuline. Retires the side in the fifth, and he can't do it much better than a 6-pitch inning. So he would go to the bottom half. Hallsville looking to add on. They lead 2-1, as we'll be back in just a moment on the Show Me Sports Network.
At Centurion Cares, for more than 3 decades, their focus has been on exceeding customer expectations for contact center software solutions. Their innovative communication solutions include utility interactive voice response software that allows for smart communication features that let your utility deliver superior customer service 24/7. They also provide other streamlined services like automatic call distribution, automated customer callback, reporting, and quality assurance. To find out more about how Centurion Cares can help your business, call them at 727-421-5300 or look them up online at centurioncares.com. Centurion Cares, innovative communication solutions.
At the Boone County Journal, we're with you all the way. We know that you're more than just a subscriber. You're an employer, you're a parent, you're a neighbor. Most importantly, you're a community member. It's our goal to provide you with the latest news, sports, opinions, obituaries, classifieds, and more to keep you informed about your community. To find out more about the Boone County Journal or to subscribe, call 573-657-2334 or visit bocojoe.com. The Boone County Journal. We're with you all the way.
Running out of some of your favorite Avon products and haven't seen an Avon brochure in quite some time? No need to worry. Avon Independent Sales Representative Michelle Carty can help with your Skin So Soft makeup, jewelry, fragrance, and skincare needs. Avon now carries cleaning supplies, clothing, daily essentials, and several small LG electronic items. You now have the opportunity to shop online 24/7 and have your order shipped directly to your front door by shopping with Michelle at mcarty.avonrepresentative.com or find her on Facebook by searching Avon Carty.
Gage Harbison in to start the bottom of the 5th for Hallsville as he fouls the first pitch off to make it 0-1. Facing Southern Boone starter Carter Salter, who looks to match his counterpart and get through 5 innings on the bump. Next pitch way upstairs makes it 1-1. Both teams have not had a whole lot of offense so far, as Hallsville, which is the 2 runs scored in the 2nd, and Southern Boone with their 1 scored in the 3rd. That's been all for the offense, at least run-wise. Next pitch, Harbison, a called strike. Good off-speed delivery right there. Been a couple different ways, too, as Hallsville starter left-hander Andrew Orscheln with 11 punch-outs. That's been his main way to retire batters. But for Salter, Carter Salter, the right-hander, just 2 Ks. Been a lot of outs in play. This one grounded to third. Could it be a similar thing as Reynolds Field? It's going to be a long throw, and it is just in time as Harbison out by maybe less than a step. It was a strong throw from deep in the hole at third by Reynolds, and Harbison just barely missed beating it out. And that could have gone either way. So first out of the bottom of the 5th inning, and that will bring up Colt Nichols. So we're back to the top of the order, and the shortstop will take his 3rd at-bat of the game. Nichols will wait the first delivery, swung on ground this one to 3rd, but it bends foul, and that'll make it 0-1. Both pitchers, especially 2, as this game has gone on, are really starting to settle in and put up some quick innings. Orscheln just had a 6-pitch inning. Harbison was retired on 3 pitches for the first out of this bottom half of the inning. And here we are moving along. Here comes the 0-1 delivery to Nichols. He's going to take it high, and that evens the count. 1 ball and 1 strike. Defense for Southern Boone. Second baseman Zimmerman playing probably the furthest back of all of them. Everyone else pretty much straight up on the infield, along with the outfield as well. 1-1 delivery to Nichols. Going to swing and foul it off to the right side by the softball field, and it's 1-2. So Salter, a lot of points throughout this game has induced weak contact in a 2-strike situation. Like I mentioned, not been a big strikeout night for the right-hander, as this one is fouled up out of play, and it'll be another one that's off towards the softball field, and it's 1-2 again. Gonna have to wait to get a new ball with back-to-back ones being sent out of play. Nichols, the junior, playing one of the best defensive positions in baseball today, the shortstop position, and he's in behind in a 1-2 count. As he will ground this one weakly, gets past the pitcher, might have a chance to reach here. Shortstop Morris, strong throw, and he beats it out at first base. Ball was lost anyway, but I think Nichols was going to be safe no matter what, despite Morris delivering a strong throw as the first baseman Richardson, who just couldn't reel it in. But like I said, I'm pretty sure Nichols beats it out regardless, and he's got an infield single. So Hallsville, they've had this lead for pretty much the entire game, could use some insurance Southern Boone down to their last 6 outs on offense, but Hallsville up just a run, and now the number 2 hitter in this order, Braden Matheny, the second baseman, steps in. Nichols with good speed off of first base. Saw him put that speed to use right off in the distance on that football field a couple months ago. See if he can do that on for the first time. Throw over to first and back in safely. Southern Boone, they like to throw over on these Hallsville base runners. Gardner, when he was on last inning, they threw over to first 4 times in the same at bat. Can't do that anymore in Major League Baseball. First pitch is swung on ground to third. Nichols was running, so it might keep them out of the double play. They throw to second, and that's a bad move because the ball is dropped. Nichols was well safe anyway, and that contributes to Hallsville having now 2 runners on with 1 out. Don't know what the third baseman, Reynolds, was thinking because he had no play at second base, so much to the fact that whoever was covering the bag wasn't even standing on the bag because Nichols was already there. Throw easily should have been to first base to get the runner Matheny, and instead he's going to reach on the fielder's choice error. Now 2 on with 1 out. Hallsville will take it any day, though. So Aaron Ursuline, see what he can do. Catcher has been on a couple times. First time was a hit by pitch, believe. Last time was a walk. Regardless, he's been on twice. Now an RBI opportunity with 2 on and 1 out. Matheny off of first, Nichols off of second base. Not huge leads, although Matheny's off of first is pretty decent. Here's the first pitch to him. Bends outside the zone. Nice frame job back there by Beckman. Almost stole a strike, but instead it's 1-0. So big spot here. Number 3 hitter in the order. Hallsville's catcher on. And also leading by just 1 run in the bottom of the 5th. Could always use more offense. Good speed everyone on the bases. See if he can find a gap. This one crushed to left. Does Hargis have a play? As he goes back, he will have a play. It was hit high, but not far. And that is a big out, number 2, and both runners have to stay put. I apologize. Probably misused there the word crushed. Just hit high. High in the air to left, but not deep enough, as it's 3-11 out there to dead left field. One who has shown he has power so far, Cooper Rose. Crushed a couple balls foul. He puts one of those fair, and it's 5-1 Hallsville. First pitch to him, grounded to left side, third baseman Reynolds up with it, needs a strong throw to first, and he delivers one. Inning over. So the fielder's choice error does not come back to bite Southern Boone, as the number 3 and 4 hitters in this Indians order are retired thanks to a flyout and a groundout. We'll head to the top of the 6th. Hallsville still up, though. They lead 2-1 on the Show Me Sports Network.
In today's world, injury prevention is at the top of everyone's list. However, heat-related occurrences get routinely overlooked. Zealous WBGT puts that front and center. By using cutting-edge formulas and technology, Zealous WBGT streamlines and simplifies obtaining and documenting wet bulb globe temperature readings. With a simple touch of a button, you can check WBGT anywhere in the world, receiving alerts when the WBGT goes over the threshold you select. Join the stress-free way to protect student-athletes, employees, and overall operations from extreme heat by downloading the free Zealous WBGT app today. Save time, save money, save lives with Zealous WBGT.
Hello, Blake Gazaway here with the Show Me Sports Network. I've had the opportunity to have some amazing calls, including overtime touchdowns, walk-off home runs, and buzzer-beating baskets. But I've answered another call. That's to serve my community as a volunteer firefighter. Stop and think what would happen if your home or property caught fire and no one was there to put it out. Every day, volunteer firefighters not only save lives and property, but also respond to other emergencies. Nearly 2/3 of our nation's fire departments are manned by volunteer firefighters. And because of this, we simply need more volunteers to step up and answer the call. Stop by or contact your local fire department and see how you can become a volunteer firefighter today. I answered the call to serve my community. Will you?
We head to the 6th inning on the Show Me Sports Network. I'm Ben Schmidt. As Hallsville needing 6 more outs to secure a victory on this Tuesday night. Means we'll be back home on Thursday evening here as well, same place, same time. Got to win to secure here first. Ursuline's first delivery is a called strike, 0-1 on the left-hand hitting Austin Evans, who has been one of the bright spots in the Southern Boone lineup today. He's been on base twice, stolen a couple of bags, and he scored the 1 run that the Eagles have. Andrew Ursuline, see if he can get these last 6 outs. He's got 11 punch-outs in 5 innings of 1 unearned run ball, and now gets foul ball 0-2, so needs 1 more strike to potentially put Evans away for the first time today. He's at the top of the order, as it's going to be with Evans due up 2-3-4 If he can get through this, it'll give him a decent chance to finish things off in the 7th. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the delivery. He just missed striking him out. As catcher behind the plate for Hallsville, just unable to frame that one for a called strike 3. That was Aaron Orscheln, who just could not get the call. So it's 1-2. Here's the delivery. This one fouled out of play, and we will keep the at-bat alive. Evans, not a guy you want to put on to lead off the inning, is the tying run. Great speed, already showed it. Probably could put himself in a scoring position in the blink of an eye. And with Hallsville trying to secure this victory, huge cheer if Orscheln can get this 3rd strike on him. Setup looks to be right above the knees. Inside part of the play, here's the pitch, and it comes inside to that. Hit him. It did not. Did not. I think it just went off the glove. The entire Southern Boone crowd, I think like me, thought that it hit him. It hit something. I believe, though, it probably just went off the glove of the catcher. See if the umpire rules ball, or maybe it hit his bat. He didn't rule, though, so at the very least, there's 2 strikes. Evans back in the box. Here's the delivery to him, and it's outside again. So I think the pitch before was actually a foul ball. It might have hit the bat of Evans, and that means it's 2-2 instead of 3-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, first batter of this top of the 6th. Here's the delivery. Swung on and missed as he chased that off-speed pitch out in front, and that's a big first out at this top of the 6th inning to keep Evans off base for the first time today. So for Hallsville, that's big because not only do you tire this first batter and put yourself even closer to a victory, you bring up the number 3 hitter, Riker Zimmerman, with nobody on instead of a chance to put Southern Boone ahead. Here's the first pitch to him. He'll take it, and that's a called strike. Appear to be right down Broadway. 4-0-1 count now. Looks like the center fielder for Hallsville, Gardner, maybe just shaded a tad towards right center. Everyone else in pretty standard alignment against a right-handed hitter. Orscheln goes into his windup. Here's his pitch. This one bends low, and evens the count 1-1. Looks like there's someone throwing for Hallsville. Yes, there is. Down the right field line, a right-hander throwing for the Indians. Don't know how much longer the leash is on Orscheln. Here's the 1-1 delivery to Zimmerman. Slaps it right at the first baseman, and Lampkins makes the catch. Pretty decent hit opposite way, but Lampkins positioned perfectly. Barely had to move, and 2 up, 2 down in the 6th as Orscheln has just continued to get even stronger as this move deeper into the game. He needs now just 4 more outs to secure a victory. Cleanup hitter Jace Reynolds going to step into the box, playing third base. Almost cost Southern Boone with a fielder's choice error last inning. Left-hander looks in. Looks like setup is going to be lower in the zone. Here's the first pitch. It is low, too low, and it's now 1-0. Ball got away on the throw back. Shortstop for Hallsville, Nichols going to go over and retrieve it, return it to his pitcher. Maybe a little bit lighter breeze. Trees out in center and right center moving just a little bit. As we are just past an hour and a half into this game and already top of the 6th inning with 2 outs and no one on. Next pitch, that's a called strike off the inside corner as the hitter at the plate for Southern Boone, Reynolds, quick glance back towards the umpire after that was called. Tying run at the plate for Southern Boone, but they are running out of time. 1 ball in, 1 strike. Defense comes in. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed. Maybe even got a small piece. Looks like that. Yep, he did. It's a foul tip, but regardless, it was caught, and now it's 1 ball in, 2 strikes. A K right here would mean the 13th of the game, as we are just in the top of the 6th inning. Orscheln looks in. Here comes the lefties. 1-2 delivery. It is going to be low, and it is going to be a ball. Looked like the batter Reynolds started to take that bat off his shoulder as that off-speed pitch looped its way through the zone, but able to hold up. Good decision there, too, because I don't know if he makes contact with it. Now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Deuces wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And here's the next delivery. This one skips low, and it bounces away, so now counts run all the way full. A danger here, Orscheln is of putting the tying run on base. That should want to go, but there is someone throwing down that right field line bullpen for Hallsville, a right-hander. Don't know how soon they'd want to turn to him. Regardless, Orscheln has been dominant. Can you get through 6 strong innings of one-run baseball. The wind, the kick, and the lefty's pitch. Swung on, hit to right, bending towards the foul line as Harbison chases after, and he's not going to have a play. Harbison ran all the way up towards that right field wall, but ran out of room, and we'll do the full count pitch once again. They get a new ball towards the umpire, and now ready to go is Marshland behind the plate, gets back into his crouch. Going to lay down the signs. And here we go. Lefty looks in, brings that ball up into his glove. Set just about at the knees. Here's the 3-2. Called strike 3, and it left the batter Reynolds frozen, and he knew it. It was off speed, it floated through the zone, and that's going to end the inning. The 13th strikeout of the game for Orscheln sends us to the bottom of the 6th inning with Hallsville still with the lead. We'll be back in just a moment on the Show Me Sports Network.
Creating custom, handcrafted woodworking projects has never been easier. Become a member of Sawdust Studios and enjoy 24/7 access to a woodworker's paradise. Outfit with industry-leading professional-grade tools, Sawdust Studios offers endless woodworking possibilities. Don't have woodworking experience? No problem, as Sawdust Studios offers affordable classes from a community of woodworkers, experienced designers, and master craftsmen. Youth classes are also offered for those junior woodworkers. For more information, search Sawdust Studios on Facebook or find them online at sawdust247.com. Sawdust Studios, your community woodshop.
Hi, I'm retired Army Sergeant Trent Dirks, and I want to tell you about an organization that saved and changed my life forever. Retrieving Freedom provides highly trained service dogs to veterans with disabilities and children with autism, absolutely free of charge, thanks to the generous donations and support from people just like you. Experts from Retrieving Freedom help throughout the entire process, from fostering programs through service dog placement. Retrieving Freedom gave me the skilled service dog Tracer, who has been my best friend and my lifeline. To find out more about how you can get involved, volunteer, foster, or to donate, visit their website, retrievingfreedom.org. Retrieving Freedom, changing lives through the training and placement of service dogs for veterans with disabilities and children with autism.
Bottom of the 6th inning now on the Show Me Sports Network, and Colton Garner, who singled his last time up, going to lead off this bottom of the 6th inning. It is still Carter Salter on the bump for the Eagles, as both starters, Salter and Orscheln, have delivered really nice pitching performances. It's a shame one of these two could end up taking the loss. So Orscheln just the one unearned run allowed, and Salter 2 runs. First pitch floats in, that's a called strike. This could be the final inning on the bump for Salter if Hallsville closes things out in the top of the 7th inning. We're going to make it 6 strong innings. Snaps another pitch, and they're 0-2. 2 very nice off-speed pitches to start this at-bat. See now if maybe he picks things up a little bit and goes fastball for the 3rd pitch, now 0-2 on Gardner. Gardner choking up a little bit on that bat. Here's the right-hander's wind delivery, and it's way upstairs. Think that was off speed again. Had some movement to it. It's now 1-2. Defense moves in just a step or two. Whitey looks towards the catcher Beckman, who puts down the signs. Here's the pitch, and it bounces in front of home plate, and now Gardner's able to even things up at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. First batter of the inning. This one a called strike 3, and I think Gardner knew it as that one found its way into the zone, and that's first out of the bottom of the 6th inning. So it was a very nice pitch. There's a lot of movement there delivered by Salter in that at-bat. Gets him now his 3rd punch out of the game and the first out of the inning. And now coming up is Aiden Lampkins. Lampkins also reached a couple of times. He scored the first of the 2 runs that Hallsville had, both coming around in the 2nd inning. The wind, the kick, and the right-hander's delivery. This one popped up foul, and it's going to get over the fence, not a play. Over towards that softball field is where it came down. Now everyone back, set, ready to go. Here comes the 0-1 pitch with no one on and 1 out. This one smacked to short. Going over is Morris. He dives, knocks it down, gets up, makes a strong throw. It's picked, and what a play to get the out. Morris the throw, and Richardson on the receiving end. I didn't think Morris had a chance, and not only did he knock it down with the dive, but he got up and made a strong throw. Richardson with the pick, and tough luck there as being retired on the play as Aiden Lampkins for out number 2 in the bottom of the 6th. Nice play once again by the shortstop, Chase Morris. First pitch to Orscheln is going to miss low, 1-0. So after Lampkins is retired, 2 out and nobody on for Orscheln, who promptly smacks this one back up into right center field, and he's now got 2 hits on the day to go with a strong pitching performance. Ball is gathered, but now the man who you would presume will be out to close things out in the top of the 7th inning gets on first base. He's 2 for 3. So Hallsville keeps their inning alive. Really could have had a couple hits in this inning, but now instead Orscheln will head back to the dugout. As for the 3rd time, Will Evans is going to come and run for him. I believe actually Orscheln's 2 for 2. I think the other time he reached on a walk. I believe he's 2 for 2. Now stepping up, the man responsible for the 2 runs for Hallsville is going to be chopping this one out to short. Morris comes in, picks it, and throws to first just in time. As a batter on the play, didn't even get to say his name out of my mouth. Tanner Daly is retired to end the inning. So a very quick one. 3 more outs to go for Hallsville. We head to the top of the 7th inning. They lead 2-1. Orscheln going to try and close this out when we return in just a moment on the Show Me Sports Network.
Attention Indians fans, here's your chance to help the student athletes of Hallsville by becoming a member of the Hallsville Athletic Boosters. Your gifts help provide all Hallsville athletes with a safe and positive experience while attending our school district, and also help purchase items that our sports team couldn't otherwise afford. You can join the Hallsville Athletic Boosters this season for as little as $25. Membership is open to everyone. Interested in joining? Look them up on Facebook by searching Hallsville Athletic Boosters or email them at hallsvilleathleticboosters@gmail.com. Let's go Indians!
Last Sentinel Firearms is your federally licensed and registered Type 7 FFL manufacturer dealer in Missouri, providing quality products to all types of sports enthusiasts, law enforcement, and individuals across the nation. Orders are currently being fulfilled, offering custom-built pistols and rifles from the AR platform made right here in Missouri. Visit their website at lastsentinelfirearms.com or call them at 417-684-7202 to find out what they've got for you. Last Sentinel Firearms, you are your last line of defense.
Three more outs to get for Hallsville if they want to win this game against Southern. Boone and his Blaine Hargis in to lead things off, and Andrew Orscheln back out on the mound. This one first pitch grounded into center field, and that is a base hit. So tying run aboard for Southern Boone. They have had very little offensive chances all day, but you hope their offense doesn't come alive right here, because it has been a stellar pitching performance for Andrew Orscheln. 6 innings, 1 earned run, and 13 punch-outs, as he needs to retire just 3 more men to finish his evening and give Hallsville the win. They lead 2-1. They've had plenty of chances to add on, so you'd hate to see them bite them in the butt. And now they're going to quickly chat as Orscheln calls his first baseman Lampkins over. And it's just one pitch. Blaine Hargis, the left fielder, smacks that one into center for a single. And now a runner on first with nobody out. And the number 6 hitter in the order, DH Nate Smith, coming up. Be a bold play to put the runner in motion, but if they can steal successfully, Southern Boone would have a tying run in scoring position with less than 2 outs. Quick check of the runner. Orscheln looking right at him. Not a big lead, and now he locks in on Nate Smith. He shows bunt, and it's way inside. It gets by the catcher, and no bunt's even going to be needed as moving up to second base on the play as Hargis. Cannot happen right there. And I think Orscheln just got a little too sped up. Fired that one in too fast, and it went to the backstop on the fly. It's now even bigger. Nate Smith, if they want to show bunt again, they can move him up to third. He's going to very quickly check the signs that were in his back pocket, as just 2 pitches into the inning, it's been a run and a wild pitch. Excuse me, not a run, a single and a wild pitch. And Hallsville, who leads 2-1, now in danger of giving that lead up. Nate Smith, he's showing bunt. They're going to try and get him to third. Pitch is fouled off on the foul bunts. That's big. If you could get Smith here, maybe on a foul bunt attempt or just a strikeout or whatever, without allowing that runner to get to third, it really gives yourself a chance to maybe get things going and get out of this inning with the win. But if you allow Smith to get the bunt down and you move the runner Hargis over to third, then a ball in play ties the game, and we're looking at Hallsville having to potentially win in the bottom half or going to extras. Orscheln straightens up. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Smith. A little bit of dancing by the shortstop Nichols behind the runner. Pitch is bunted. It's bunted in the air. Diving play, and the first baseman Lampkins makes the catch. No, he did not. Oh, they rule he didn't catch it, and that's going to allow the runner to be saved. That is tough luck. It totally looked like Lampkins dove and caught that ball, but when he didn't, there was really no play to get the runner at the bag, and Nate Smith is safe. That is big, because instead of one out and a runner on second, it's first and second with nobody out. So now, not only is the tying run on base, but the winning run is on base. Home plate umpire was the one who made the call that ball hit dirt before getting into the glove of Lampkins. So now infield away, and they're expecting bunt again as number 7 hitter Hunter Richardson gets a bunt down. It's a beauty rolling down the line. It's going to stay fair all the way until it hits the third base bag. Third baseman Daly really had no choice but just to let it roll and see if it kicked foul. And I don't know if it is possible to lay down a better bunt than that, because it just rolled all the way up that line until it hit the third base bag. Well done by Hunter Richardson, and trouble is brewing for Hallsville as bases are loaded with nobody out. It all started with a leadoff single, and then back-to-back bunt singles have loaded them up. And Daly, like I said, with that bunt being so perfect, his only play was really just to let that thing roll. He wasn't going to get Richardson with a long throw to first. And now a meeting at the mound. Coach coming out for Hallsville. Don't know if they're going to pull Horseland or just kind of mention what to do here with bases loaded. So now a single could give Southern Boone the lead. And the man that's going to be coming up to the plate will be the number 8 hitter in the order. It's the catcher, Braden Beckman. Umpire's going to head on out and end this meeting. It's going to be Andrew Orschland who stays in the game. Man who's given up 1 unearned run and 13 punch-outs in some real hot water right here, as there is a man at every base for Southern Boone, by far their best offensive inning. Only one that really comes close is the 1 run they scored in the third, and that only happened because a throwing error made by Daly at third allowed the run to score. If he makes that throw out at first base, and that inning's over with a 0 on the board. Southern Boone quickly telling their base runners what to do is heading back to second base and first base. Looks like it's Gabe Montgomery running at second base, so him being the go-ahead run. Southern Boone looking to add a little speed. It still is Richardson at first, but it is Montgomery at second base. He ran for Nate Smith, the DH. So bases loaded, here we go, and Braden Beckman in. The wind, the kick, and the lefty's delivery is swung on, popped in the air, foul, and that is going to get out of play. A pop-up right here could do a whole lot of good for Hallsville, because then it gives you a chance to really start to see the forest through the trees. I think that's the expression. Maybe I'm wrong. Gives them a chance to get out of the inning if you can get this first out right here without allowing anyone to score. Beckman back in. Lefty looks. Going through the full windup. Here's his pitch. That's a beauty, and it snapped in there for a called strike. As that one started offside and floated its way to the outside corner of the plate, and it is now 0-2. Beckman, the number 8 hitter, the number 9 hitter, Carter Salter, waits on deck. Lefty looks in. Runners take their lead at every base. Here comes the 0-2 delivery. He just missed, striking him out as Orschland behind the dish tried to bring that one in as much as he could. It was similar to the one before that was called, but just didn't have the same amount of bite. Definitely looked to be just outside for a ball, and it's now 1-2. Strikeout here would be humongous for Hallsville. Beckman awaits. Catcher bats from the right side facing the left-handed pitcher. The wind, the kick, and here comes his 1-2. He struck him out as Beckman went chasing upstairs in a huge first out of this top of the 7th inning. So no one moves off their base, and after Beckman is struck out, it's still a lead for Hallsville. It's 2-1, and with the 14th K of the game for Andrew Orschland, that looks like it's going to be the last pitch that he will throw. And with a lefty on deck, a little interesting call. You would think they'd stick with the lefty and go lefty-lefty. It was a righty that was warming in the bullpen. Maybe they're not pulling Orschland. He hasn't pulled him out of the game yet. They could just be discussing strategy once again. Nope, they're going to take him out. So it is a right-hander coming into the game. We'll step aside for just a quick moment, but don't go anywhere as Hallsville leads 2-1. But Southern Boone, with one out on the top of the 7th, has got him loaded. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hello, Blake Gazaway here with the Show Me Sports Network. I've had the opportunity to have some amazing calls, including overtime touchdowns, walk-off home runs, and buzzer-beating baskets. But I've answered another call. That's to serve my community as a volunteer firefighter. Stop and think what would happen if your home or property caught fire and no one was there to put it out. Every day, volunteer firefighters not only save lives and property, but also respond to other emergencies. Nearly 2/3 of our nation's fire departments are manned by volunteer firefighters. And because of this, we simply need need more volunteers to step up and answer the call. Stop by or contact your local fire department and see how you can become a volunteer firefighter today. I answered the call to serve my community. Will you?
Creating custom, handcrafted woodworking projects has never been easier. Become a member of Sawdust Studios and enjoy 24/7 access to a woodworker's paradise. Outfit with industry-leading professional-grade tools, Sawdust Studios offers endless woodworking possibilities. Don't have woodworking experience? No problem, as Sawdust Studios offers affordable classes from a community of woodworkers, experienced designers, and master craftsmen. Youth classes are also offered for those junior woodworkers. For more information, search Sawdust Studios on Facebook or find them online at sawdust247.com. Sawdust Studios, your community woodshop.
Whole lot of work to do for the new pitcher into the game for Hallsville, as Riley Barnes has inherited a bases-loaded one-out situation with the Indians up 2-1. Strikeout here would be big, keep that tying run at third base. We'd have to take a ground ball right at someone and maybe a turn two. I don't know if they're going to play the infield in or not. You'd have to see depending on if that's a possibility. But for the moment, Andrew Orscheln out of the game as he, with really for the most part a spectacular night, got burnt by some bunts in this inning. But he goes 6 1/3 inning, strikes out 14 batters. His line is still open as he gave up the 1 run, unearned run, but all 3 on base could be charged to him. And now the starting pitcher for Southern Boone coming up to the plate in Carter Salter with a chance to either tie this game or give the Eagles the lead. Here comes Barnes' first delivery to him. Sloan in the air, on the infield. This could be out number 2. Coming in, making a catch is Matheny, and you can't do it much better than that as a pop-up on the first pitch gets the second out of the inning and keeps that tying run at third base. That is huge as Salter is retired. So with Chase Morris, the leadoff hitter for Southern Boone, due up an out here, ends the game and give Hallsville the win and a chance to get out of a bases-loaded, no-out situation thanks to so far a strikeout and a flyout. Can Barnes get the job done? The right-hander goes into his lineup. First pitch to Morris, and it's outside. Almost got away from the catcher, but it is hung on to. It's 1-0. So Orscheln got the K of Beckman, then was pulled from the game, and then new pitcher into the game, Barnes, gets the flyout of Salter on the very first pitch, didn't leave the infield, and all runners had to stay put. 1-0 pitch from Barnes. This one gets away, goes to the backstop. Here comes the runner, and this game is tied. A shame right there because they had a chance to get out of that inning with the win, but it went right through the legs of Orscheln, and coming home to score is Hargis, and we are tied at 2. Playing with fire when you pitch low in the dirt with bases loaded, and that comes back to hurt Hallsville right there. A shame, too, because that run will be charged to Orscheln, the starting pitcher. Now, got to get out of this inning just tied with runners on second and third and 2 outs and a 2-0 count. Here comes Barnes' delivery. This one not going to find the zone. It is 3-0. Open base now at first. You can afford to put Morris on. And it looks like they're just going to put him on. It was 3-0, and they just put Morris on, and the bases are loaded once again. And now here comes the number 2 hitter in the order, and that's going to be Austin Evans. Southern Boone loaded the bases with nobody out, down 2-1. Hallsville got back-to-back outs with no one leaving their base. And the wild pitch, maybe a pass ball, don't know what they would rule, allows this game to be tied at 2. Now Evans, first pitch, upstairs a ball, and now Riley Barnes can't afford to be wild here as a walk would force in a run. Had that luxury moment to go with first base open after the ball went to the backstop. And now here, he's got to find the strike zone against left-handed hitter Austin Evans, who's been on base a couple of times, swiped a couple bags. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. This one does find the zone, pretty much right down Broadway. It's 1-1. This batter right here depends whether Hallsville will have a chance to walk it off in a tie ball game or be trailing and need to come back for the first time all day. Runners take their lead at every base. Here comes the 1-1 delivery. Evans swings, fouls it off, and Barnes needs just one more strike to send us to the bottom half. Southern Boone is not known to lead at any point in this game. They trailed 2-0 ever since the second inning, and then 2-1 after the third. But that was the score. Hallsville missed many opportunities to add on a comes back to haunt them right here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Runners take their leads. Here's the pitch. Evans fouls it off. Kind of defensive swing right there. He stays alive and will do the 1-2 again. Thought for a moment there Barnes was going to be able to, with the help of Warshland getting the first out, pull the magic act and escape bases, 0-no outs unharmed, but the wildness comes back to hurt the Indians and ties this game up. Here goes the 1-2 pitch again. This one popped high in the air, shallow right field, should end the inning. It's Lampkins Matheny converging. It's Lampkins who makes the catch, and that ends the inning, but not before the Eagles tie it up at 2. Hallsville can't get the win in the top half. Can they get it in the bottom half and walk it off? We'll be back in just a moment on the Show Me Sports Network.
Hi, I'm retired Army Sergeant Trent Dirks, and I want to tell you about an organization that saved and changed my life forever. Retrieving Freedom provides highly trained service dogs to veterans with disabilities and children with autism, absolutely free of charge, thanks to the generous donations and support from people just like you. Experts from Retrieving Freedom help throughout the entire process, from fostering programs through service dog placement. Retrieving Freedom gave me the skilled service dog Tracer, who has been my best friend and my lifeline. To find out more about how you can get involved, volunteer, foster, or to donate, visit their website, retrievingfreedom.org. Retrieving Freedom, changing lives through the training and placement of service dogs for veterans with disabilities and children with autism.
Attention Indians fans, here's your chance to help the student athletes of Hallsville by becoming a member of the Hallsville Athletic Boosters. Your gifts help provide all Hallsville athletes with a safe and positive experience while attending our school district, and also help purchase items that our sports team couldn't otherwise afford. You can join the Hallsville Athletic Boosters this season for as little as $25. Membership is open to everyone. Interested in joining? Look them up on Facebook by searching Hallsville Athletic Boosters, or email them at hallsvilleathleticboosters@gmail.com. Let's go Indians!
Bottom of the 7th inning now, and instead of this one being concluded, Hallsville will need to walk it off as they give up a run in the top half of the inning to tie this thing at 2. And the man who scored that tying run, Blaine Hargis, is on for the Eagles to try and send us to extra innings. And Hallsville going to have 9, 1, and 2 to up in their order to try and send these home fans happy. Home fans home happy, pardon me. So Carter Salter, who put together a really nice day on the stat sheet, probably outdone by Orson in terms of the Ks, but Salter goes 6 innings, but gives up just 2 runs, punched out only 3. He was able to get hitters to make weak contact and get outs on some ground balls and flyouts. And really, when Southern Boone fell behind, it kept them in this game, gave them opportunity to have that 7th inning where they came from behind to tie this thing up. See now if Hallsville can respond. See what momentum they can steal right back. Maybe walk this thing off if they want to grab the win here tonight. First up will be the number 9 here, Gage Harbison. Then we go back to the top, and Colt Nichols and Brady Matheny to follow. So far on the mound for Hallsville, they've gone Andrew Orshland, and then Riley Barnes got the last 2 outs of the 7th. And now for Southern Boone, they go Salter and then Hargis. All right, here we go. Bottom of the 7th inning. Can Hallsville send everyone home happy? This one skied in the air to left. It's foul, but will the left fielder, not Hargis anymore, have a play? He does not as he overruns it. He almost had a play up against that wall, but he does not. I said Hargis because he was in left field, but can't say that anymore because he's on the mound. Have to try and figure out who that is out there in left field, but he almost had a play up against that wall in foul territory. Instead, it's 0-1. His number in the teens. Could be Dylan Estase, although he's just a freshman. Don't know for sure who's out there in left. Regardless, it is now 0-1 on Harbison. Next pitch, he's going to watch this one snap in there. It's now 0-2. After that long foul ball on the first pitch of the at-bat, now going to have to go to battle here in a 2-strike count. Can he get on to lead things off for the Indians? 0-2 pitch. This one grounded left side, and it is foul. Hitting the third base coach for Hallsville can't make the play. Thinking back on it, Hallsville really has not had a ton of hard contact. Their one RBI chance, the 2-run score, was on a blue single. This one skips low and away. Makes it 1-2 on Harbison. You'd love to see him get on and turn it over back to the top of the order with a man on base. You have Nichols on deck, Matheny to follow. And then after them, if someone reaches, you have Warshland. 1-2 delivery to Harbison. He swings out in front of it and foul again. been out in front of a lot of pitches so far in this at-bat as Hargis has gone to the off-speed pitch. All that matters, though, he still has a chance in this at-bat. Southern Boone had their top of the 7th start with a hit. Can the bottom of the 7th start with a hit for Hallsville? Here comes the 1-2 again on Harbison. Takes it. It doesn't even make it to home plate, and it's 2-2. All he's got to do is work the count and continue to make Hargis throw more pitches. See if some of that wildness, first batter he's faced, come out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. First batter of the bottom of the 7th. Hallsville going to walk it off. 2-2. This one doesn't make it to home plate again. It's 3-2. And Hargis has tried to be perfect with these last couple pitches. Hasn't been able to do it. And an excellent bat so far. It's despite all the fouls being out in front of it. Harbison has worked it full. Now can he get that crucial last pitch to either get a hit and get on or walk and get on. He's going to swing ground to third, and that's foul again, so it will stay full. So at this point, you're looking just to get on, not making out even if it's a long at bat. But going to take something away. It has been a productive at bat. Harbison has really made Hargis work so far. Now can he just get on? 3-2 pitch. Swing, grounder short, deep in the hole is Morris. He comes in, makes the scoop, throw to first is a good one. And in time to get Harbison as he is thrown out again. So a good at bat, just could not find that big hit or take a pitch for ball 4 to get on. And now we go back to the top of the order for Hallsville, see if they can be the ones to really get something going. Colt Nichols with good speed, playing shortstop at the top of this lineup. See if he can get on. Plenty of space to work with up the middle. Second baseman, Zimmerman, even looks like he may be pulled a little towards the right side. First delivery to him. He's going to take it. It bends outside, 1-0. Hallsville think they've got some movement down in that bullpen as this one is fouled out of play. Don't know if that's a player down there moving around or just a coach or someone. Barnes didn't have to throw a whole lot of pitches, so he could theoretically come back out for the 8th if Hallsville doesn't win it. Nichols ground this one deep in the hole. Morris going to go over and get it. He doesn't get it, though, as it goes into outfield. Even if he does put a glove on this, Nichols, I think, runs too well. Would have been safe anyway. Regardless, that finds green grass. And Hallsville, here we go. Winning run is on base, bottom of the last inning. So Braden Matheny will come up. But do you potentially think about putting Nichols in motion, get a runner into scoring position? He's putting that oven mitt on his right hand. Maybe give him some advantage on a potential head-first slide. First baseman Richardson going to hold him on. Quick glance over by the pitcher Hargis. And here we go. And they're going to throw over to first. Because, of course, they will. That's what Southern Boone has done all day when Hallsville's got a runner on first. Hallsville's been able to swipe a couple of bags. Haven't been thrown out. Actually, they did get thrown out as Orslin was thrown out way back in the first. Orslin. Batter waits on deck here. Here we go. Matheny first pitch. Going to take. Runner going. Nichols going to try and swipe second. The throw, the tag, and he is out at second base. That's big. Throw could not have been more perfect by Beckman. Tag was applied, and Nichols was on base for just one pitch as the head first dive was not enough. And now 2 outs, nobody on for Hallsville. Big loss right there on the base pass. Is now going to take a hit just to get a runner back on for the Indians. Hargis a chance to get to a scoreless bottom of the 7th. Pitch to Matheny. It's upstairs. Started to go held up, and we're even 1-1. Hallsville was just 1 out away from ending this thing in the top half of the inning, and now it looks like we may head into extras, being tied at 2. The wind, the kick, the 1-1 pitch on the way upstairs, and now it's 2-1. Couple taps of the plate by the batter. And here comes the 2-1 pitch way upstairs, and pretty big if he ends up putting Matheny on, because if you don't steal Nichols, you would have 2 on with 1 out, although I completely agree with the decision there to steal Nichols. You got great speed, want to get in scoring position. Not that I am the coach and that they should listen to my opinion. 3-1 pitch way outside, and Matheny is on. So Braden Matheny reaches out at the 2 spot, and now the number 3 hitter Orslin will come up with a chance to win it for Hallsville if he could put one in a gap. Catcher and the coach for Southern Boone are going to go out and have a talk with the pitcher Hargis. He has shown some wildness in these last couple at bats. He went full on a couple pitches way outside to Harbison, who then grounded out. Nichols single, but then was caught stealing second base. And now Matheny walks. So number 3 hitter Aaron Orscheln with a chance to, with would appear to be decent speed at first base because they are pinch running for Matheny. That's Will Ewens, who has been running all day for Orscheln when he's reached out of the pitcher's spot, so he's quite familiar. He actually scored what was the second run of the game for Hallsville, and now he's on first base. But Hallsville, they've been caught stealing twice already. Don't know if you want to risk putting another runner in motion and run yourself out of the bottom of the 7th before you even give your number 3 hitter a chance to win it for you. Hargis straightens up at the belt, lean towards second. Runner does not go as this one's outside of ball 1-0. Not a huge lead as the first baseman Richardson holds on the runner. Like I said, he was leaning towards second, but he did not go anywhere on that first pitch. Good thing, too, because it was a good pitch to throw on. Here's the 1-0 pitch. This one grounded foul. Batter on deck. DH Cooper Rhodes going to go over and retrieve that ball. Now head back over to his on-deck circle. That's why time was called. 1 ball and 1 strike, 2 outs, and a runner on first. The winning run for Hallsville on first base. Here comes the pitch. This one swung on a miss as Orscheln swings right through it. Foul tipped it into the glove of Beckman. And it's now a 1 ball, 2 strike count with 2 outs. So 1 strike needed for Southern Boone, and they would send this game to extra innings. Trading up is the pitcher Hargis. His first inning of work just into the game. Here's the pitch, runner going. It's outside a ball. The throw down a second. Another good one. The pick, the tag, and in there safely is the runner Ewens, and that is huge because the winning run is in scoring position. I'll tell you what, this catcher Beckman has a really good arm behind the plate as that was on the money, and the tag was delivered by Morris, but it was maybe just a hair too late, and Morris can't believe it. He thought that was out number 3. He's even tapping his chest like it was my fault. I don't know if that was anyone's fault. It was perfect on all aspects, and the throw was just beat by Ewens. And now that senior runner out at second base could win it if Orscheln can find outfield grass. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs in a 2-2 game. Here's the pitch. Swung on. No, not swung on. It's a ball. Don't know why I said swung, because Orscheln didn't even fake like he was going to swing. He's now run it to a full count. Southern Boone count did not like it, but that pitch was outside. And now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Mentioned a moment ago, Cooper Rhodes waits on deck if Orscheln reaches without winning the game. Hargis straightens up, needs a strike. Here's the pitch, outside, ball 4, and here comes Cooper Rhodes with a chance to win the game again. And once again, the Southern Boone fans can't believe that that pitch was outside. But to be fair, they are sitting on the third base side where you can't really see if that pitch is outside or not. So Ewens on second, Orscheln on first, and here comes Cooper Rhodes. Doesn't need to get into it, just needs a single here, and that could win it for the Indians. 2-2 game, bottom of the 7th inning after Southern Boone tied it in the top half of this inning. Hargis, the pitcher, looks. Hargis, pardon me. Lots of room on the right side to work with for Rhodes. First pitch to him, swing, smacks this one to left. That ball is down, and that's going to win the game for Hallsville. Ewens is around third on his way home, and it's a walk-off thanks to Cooper Rhodes. And after giving up the lead in the top of the 7th, the Indians storm back and send these home fans into a frenzy. Final score, 3-2. Hallsville's walked it off. There was little doubt off the bat of Cooper Rhodes where that ball was headed, and it was headed down the left field line, and Ewens could crawl on home from third as this one is won for Hallsville. Justice is served after losing it in the top half of the inning. They come right back and win it 3-2. So they had just 2 RBI hits on the day, 2 runs coming in thanks to Daly in the second, and then the third and final dagger run comes in thanks to Cooper Rhodes in the bottom of the 7th inning, 3-2 the final score. Got to give credit to Southern Boone because they hung around all game long, and eventually thanks to a pass ball were able to come back in the top of the 7th, but a 2-out rally thanks to a single, a walk, and a walk-off single for Hallsville wins the game. So final score 3-2. It was a thriller. It was a close game all day long. But the men who we broadcast for, the Hallsville Indians, are the ones who end up getting the win. And as after shaking of the hands, the home team walks back towards their dugout. A nice round of applause here by the home fans. So that's going to just about do it. Your final score, 3-2, thanks to Cooper Rhodes, who has the walk-off hit for Hallsville. Andrew Orschler not going to get the win for Hallsville, but he did go 6 in the third inning, striking out 14. And Riley Barnes, the reliever, is going to get the win. And Blaine Hargis, the loss for Southern Boone after one incredible game of baseball between the Eagles and the Indians. So thanks so much for spending it with me here on the Show Me Sports Network. I'm Ben Schmidt. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night as we went on this beautiful night here in Missouri. We'll be back for more Hallsville baseball in the future, as this has been a presentation of local Missouri baseball on the Show Me Sports Network. All right, take care, everyone. Hallsville wins 3-2 in walk-off fashion, and we'll see you next time.
Been listening to the biggest and absolute best game coverage in mid-Missouri on the exclusive home for area high school baseball, the Show Me Sports Network. Blake Gazaway and the broadcast crew are the ones that know your team the best. Exclusive coverage